cats, they do and eat. Look at the cats, they do and eat. Where the hell is the sound? Discord. Oh, God, Discord. Stop hitting the wrong buttons. Yeah, trying to fix that. Sometimes I don't understand this damn thing. I'm pretty sure it does this shit just to mess with me. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure it does this shit just to mess with me. Alright, let's try this again.
That's not good.
So, we
That's
asked
wrong
the black staff
fucking
to hold
button.
Xanathar off. Hello.
There we go.
asked Xanathar
Is this
to
part of
hold
the
black
mic also
stuff
working?
off.
The cube is
And
now a
then
door.
Went down to the
Hello,
vault,
I'm a
found
door.
Jarlaxle, and then we were dealing with Jarlaxle
Oh
in the vault.
man.
And we were like, guess we'll find out what happens with the black stuff. And then halfway through the battle, a I-beam shot through the ceiling and the beholder flew down and started fighting us as well. So then we had Xanathar
Steve
and
Jobs.
Jarlaxle in the basement, like in the vault. And he murderified the black stuff. So
That's one way to fix that.
Oopsie.
I don't know.
Well,
But
most of
basically, what
the-
that means, our monk ended up putting on Jarlaxle's dudes. Like, we managed to kill a couple of his cronies on our way down to the vault, and we found a bunch of portable holes. Like, their plan was to like scoop all the money in the portable holes, roll them up, and then get away with it.
Oh,
Not a bad plan.
Our monk took one for the team and put a magic hole in a magic hole and flung him and Jarlaxle into the astral sea. With a small amount of gold.
that's real big.
It was really metal. He had like 2 hit
Very
points.
cool.
He was like just desperately trying to grapple him, and then managed. So that sucked. But
Something I always wanted to do, Leah, is you put the bag of holding over someone's head and you cut the bag.
Yeah.
The wording is
so
everything
metal.
in the bag is lost forever.
It would be so metal.
See, at the same time, though, just use a bag of devouring.
Yeah, but if you
Is
can,
that
I mean, it's
is that just a
easier to
hungry
find
bag of holding?
than it is a bag of devouring, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, no one expects bag of holding to be weaponized.
Yeah, it's true. We fit a live donkey in our bag of holding one time, so that was a whole
Not
thing.
for long.
No, not for long. How long does a donkey hold
because
its
they're
breath
set
for?
loud for
And would it intentionally hold its breath? Is the other question.
What's the
Discord
constitution on a donkey?
for
That's a sturdy donkey. Yeah. No, but like, so we used the portal. We had
What you
no
call
more
it?
authority figures with us. Basically.
PS4.
Jarlaxle got away with the dragon's staff or whatever.
Hopefully
or
that makes them a
whatever
little
got
quieter.
away. He's in the
and
astral
not
sea floating around
so
with it. So like, did you get away? You're floating in the
overwhelming.
astral
I
sea.
don't know. They might not be
Having a fist
overwhelming
fight
for
with
you.
our monk for all of eternity, apparently.
What the hell?
And so we ended up gathering all the coins together, rolling them up in the portable holes the same way that Jarlaxle's guys had planned to do. And everybody in the party was like, either I don't want the gold, or I like the city enough that I want to hand it over to the city, except for my character. Except for my character, who is like, how many portable holes do I think I can steal before the party notices? And so we knew that there was like an extra 2 or 3 portable holes floating around because Jarlaxle had tossed them down to try to like get us to fall in them. So Galeen was like, I think I saw him, and like she was the one fighting him. I was like, I think I saw him drop 2 portable holes. So they should still have 16 portable holes if I take 2.
Got a weird aftertaste.
Do you know what I mean? Because we had gone in with 16,
Yeah.
he threw out a couple extra. I was like, the math will still work out, and I don't know that the characters would know
Okay,
that there's
so I'm
2
not too
extra
loud
portable
and they're
holes.
not too
So Galeen got away with
quiet
something like
also too
absolutely
loud.
crazy. Like she got away with like I
Good,
think
good.
57,000 gold.
Hey!
Oh, so like the reward for Brian.
It was like, but like
Actually,
as a level 5 single character, right?
Yeah.
Like with no expenses as an 18-year-old child.
yeah, Leah, my whole I want Brian's dad to be powerful. I just threw a random number out there. 5,000 platinum.
That's a lot of platinum.
That's a lot of platinum.
Yeah.
It'd been a lot of gold.
Platinum.
Would have been a lot of gold.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason why everyone's immediately like, we need to address this now, because they brought up a good point I didn't think of in the moment. If we don't, someone else will.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like that's enough money to get
Ryba would have sold him out for
all over
50
the fucking
bucks.
place.
Yeah, like all it
it was-
takes is for someone to know Brian is on our ship and tell Brian's dad
yeah,
the ship
and
that he's on, and
all of them are
then we're
dead.
hunted.
Yeah. All of them are dead. so yeah. Welcome to your new ship. How you liking it so far?
We love it.
Yeah. Anyway, we
it's
good,
500,000. Sorry,
Yep,
it's 500,000 gold pieces that were in the vault, right?
We don't know. We never actually found out.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
The divided by 18, I believe, was the number, which is 27,000 times 2. So yeah, she got away with 55,000 gold pieces, and then also was rewarded from the city because they didn't know that she stole anything.
Oh yeah.
So
That's the way
I
to do it.
I think sum in total it was something like 60 or 70,000. It was insane.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's been a week. Work decided to rear its head, and well, we're back with plot happening now. So, last we left off, you all pulled into a small port town in the hopes of getting some ship repairs, as your ship took a bit of a beating from a skeletal fleet that you managed to encounter a couple members of.
Upon arrival,
and Ryba did in fact damage it as a shark. Upon getting to this town at the early morning hours, it was quiet, but you're like, okay, it's early, so you sent the crew and the players went through, and the town was too quiet. Like, there was not a soul in this town all of a sudden, which was rather bizarre because Varys, Leah's character, only was at this town a couple days ago.
And it was a very normal town when I was here.
It was a very normal town.
Too normal.
Upon having a gut feeling that maybe we should get out of here, the captain of the ship, Merrick, was like, okay, I'm gonna go get the crew. No one leave this boat. Ryba did not listen to that order and left the boat and came across what seemed to be a hidden entrance to a catacomb-like structure underneath the city. The party eventually catching up with him to find a underground cult, essentially base, where they seem to have a giant anti-magic crystal set up below a familiar face's shop that is known to have very unique properties to their franchises.
Gilmore's Glorious Goods?
Yeah. Not quite Gilmore level, but interdimensional boat shop. You know, it's fine.
Shenanigans.
They have a franchise that just one shop.
Yeah, they have a franchise that is one... like, honestly, it's the best way to not have increased costs. Like, you know.
I'd like to think that they have, like, a staff room somewhere that's like the door in Howl's Moving Castle where you turn the dial and it's like all the different shops. They just walk through
first
different
roll of the day will be a nat 1.
Right, you haven't met them yet. We'll get to them.
I haven't.
Anyway.
Will we go?
That's what I picture.
So, upon coming across the remainder of the members in the cult, Ryba had the idea to take his loyal companion, Mr. Bubbles, and throw it into an enemy water elemental in the hopes of turning the tides of battle.
I guess see what you did there.
What you did there.
Yeah.
I approve.
I applaud thee.
After a few rounds of combat, the anti-magic device that was preventing magic from being used was destroyed by those who used it. And with that, the water elemental Mr. Bubbles was thrown into went from this like clear water to like this almost tar black swirl of just a torrent. You guys, deciding that's bad, decided to leave very quickly.
We were not fans.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. And with your quick leaving, Ryba stuck behind a little bit to, see what was happening, and the water seemed to not touch him as the rush of this wave of water went from this underground layer to the shorefront, near where your old ship is parked. And the last thing the crew of the ship sees is the ocean parting for Ryba to be able to walk on the surface of it underwater. So,
also, what could go wrong?
Seeing your companion be guided underwater by a mess of black, what essentially looks like tar, but with the consistency of water, The waves and the surface of the water close up behind him, and you all are just left on the deck staring at the shoreline. What do you do?
Does he always do that?
No, he's done some weird shit, but that has not been done before. I kind of feel like we put everyone in danger by chasing after him the first time.
You're not wrong.
By the way, is the ocean getting more turbulent?
Give me a nature check.
Nature check.
You could have been perception, but it wasn't.
That's still really well.
Still got him.
At this immediate moment, no. The tide is actually starting to go out a little bit as the morning is coming, but other than that, no immediate, torrent of hurricanes or anything.
Oh, our ship's not really in any kind of condition to do any kind of lengthy voyage. I think we should wait here as long as the tides stay calm. We should stay here and see if we can access the shop that would be able to conduct the repairs on the ship. There's a branch of the shop where we acquired this ship in town. I'm not sure how the removal of the crystal, if it instantly brings it back or not, but it's worth a fucking shot, since we can't really go much of anywhere anytime soon. And if nothing returns to normal in the town, then we're just gonna take whatever supplies we can get and fix the boat and get out of here. And hopefully Ryba comes back, but Ryba was the only way that we were able to breathe underwater, so if he doesn't come back on his own, I don't think there's anything else we can do. If any of the other officers or Varys, if you have any other ideas, I am open to suggestion.
Aside from trekking by foot to the next town and sailing back to the ship, doesn't sound like there would be a better plan. And at least if we're here, if Ryba did return, he would know where to find us.
About this time, you kind of have Quinn from the middle of the deck kind of speak up. The ship is still seaworthy, but it's taken a beating. Brian, have you looked at those sails yet, like I asked you to?
I haven't had a chance yet. I'll get right on it.
Thank you.
No.
No. No.
Oh no.
Where's the closest pasture? I need cows. Lots and lots of cows.
We thought the
It's like,
cannonball
the
was a
crew do you wanna
direct
play
hit,
as?
but it
Yeah.
just grazed us.
It was actually very funny. I kind of I told Q, it's like, hey, I need some more time. You want to play as a crew? And if you so, which one is that one?
I get my
Brian.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, the one I tortured the entire time is Ryba. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So
You get one guess.
yeah. So Quinn kind of looks back. So yeah, the repairs would be nice, although as long as we don't take much more damage. I don't know how much more that mast has in it, though. It's not looking great.
No,
I need a sheet when you get a minute.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Just when you're on a break. Don't worry about it.
Nah, I can throw it to you real quick while we're talking.
Sheet. Right. Character sheet, not a sheep. Got it.
Wrong
sheet
pasture.
is what you heard. Okay.
Mhm.
That's why I understand that it's still seaworthy, but there's also still the matter of the skeleton ship that's somewhere nearby here. They've been in the Straits, but I don't know if they're going to stay there. In any case, I think it would be best if we can do what we can to gather supplies while we're here, rather than going on foot and leaving the ship here, leaving some of the crew here with the ship. I'm not a fan of splitting us up anymore. That doesn't seem to have gone well for us. So I think it best if we, at least for the next day or two, see what we can do to repair the ship at this port. I'm sure there's some canvas lying around somewhere if the town stays desolate. But do what we can here. Hope Ryba comes back by the time the repairs are done. If we can't do the repairs here, as Vera said, we can take a walk. Right. Quinn.
Brian spelled with a Y?
Options.
Yeah,
I hate this character more than I did.
It's always been spelled with a Y. That was the point, is he's a freaking stuck-up rich kid.
Fantasy Brian has to be spelled with a Y. That's like a law.
Yes, I agree. Quinn?
Yes, Captain?
Might I speak with you for a moment, in my quarters?
And you watch her confidence as things happen immediately fade, and yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like I know the conversation's going to happen. I'm debating if I want to pull you into another call this early into the session.
Oh, that's not good.
What do you think? What do you think, Jeff? You want to go to another call, or you want to stay here for this?
We can keep the others in suspense. I'm the one finding shit out. So
Alright,
if you tell me, I'm good.
Hey, I'll see you in character stuff, probably emo.
Okay.
Alright, we'll be back in a minute!
Emo.
I didn't even know that chat existed. I love that. And then there were 3.
Oh, Lord.
How's chat?
Supposed to be entertaining.
The first roll of the day is got to be in that one, so hopefully it's a good roll of some it's a good reason for a roll. Because it's going to be real boring if it's just initiative. Okay, that's boring as hell.
My color's wrong.
Oh, this is. Where did that name come from? Is that a D&D name? Your call sign?
Oh, Thieves Luck?
Yeah.
When I was really into Sea of Thieves and was trying to rebrand, I had a different name. And really wanted to have something lucky in my name because I am exceptionally unlucky in games. Anything where RNG is related, I am exceptionally cursed.
So steak half the time. Got it.
Yeah. I'm like the Will Wheaton statistical anomaly that exists to balance out people like Talis and Jaffe who roll a lot of 20s, because I roll a lot of 1s. There has to be like a balance in the universe, and I take on the bad part of
Gotcha.
That
okay,
deal.
so you're the balance for such things.
Yeah. If something really bad would happen if I roll low, it will happen. And it the majority of the time. If I have to roll high, or sorry, if I have to roll low for something, or like we're rolling for like the number of an enemy, or like a percentage die lowers better, I will roll 100 every time. Like, it's actually kind of funny. It's like a meme in our group. And yeah, it's time for a rebrand. It's just nice to have a fresh name. So I used to be Red Wing White, and then changed my name in like October-ish. So probably right before I met you guys, I think.
I think you were on the Minecraft server under that name and then switched.
Yeah, my old Minecraft name.
Yeah.
That was actually the origin of the old name was Minecraft. So it was like the last thing that ended up changing over. Things like Steam and Twitter and stuff were pretty quick because I was going under a bunch of different handles on everything anyway. So it was like, let's just get everything under the same name. Yeah, nice to carry a bit of luck with you when you're exceptionally unlucky. That's the kind of idea. I wonder
if I got any survey things back. I got 4. I'm pretty sure you're one of them.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, you can still have luck with you at all times. It's just whether it's good or bad luck. And you seem to have a lot of bad luck.
My current Sunday character is besought by a goddess of bad luck. Is her whole sitch. So she's a halfling. She's a divination wizard. So she gets like a bunch of rerolls. Because I know that the dice will be an actor for me and make me roll really badly, so that I can use all my rerolls and it will make sense. We kind of hate it. We kind of love it. It's gonna be good. Why do I have 8 Discord pings?
Probably our chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 1 from the Minecraft server.
Cute.
I just like the whelp from Jill's, and then I just post what's her name from Bob's Burgers?
Tina, isn't it? No,
Tina's the older one. Linda's the wife. What's her name?
Oh God.
Bob. It has Scene in it, doesn't it?
Gene is the son, isn't it?
It's Gene and Tina.
Gene is the son, yeah.
Tina, and then
no.
And then
I'll give you guys a hint. I'll search it.
Okay. Make me use the brain muscle.
Starts with an L. It starts with an L.
All I hear in my head is just Tina going.
Starts with an L. I'll put it in the chat. It has an S in it.
I don't feel like Lisa is right. Lisa is not right.
No. Ooh, my name changed color halfway through that.
It did. Why did your name change? It's steak yellow now.
Yeah.
But why?
Louise.
Yep, that's it.
You got it? Because Linda's the mom, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I kept thinking Linda. I couldn't get off Linda. I'm like,
you got L, especially because it starts with an L as well. You're like, oh no.
I mean, you were doing better than me. All I could think of was Tina and Butts, and
I can literally name every other member of the family, and like people like Mr. Fishwater, and people that have nothing to fucking do with that.
I love Bob's Burgers.
What's the name of the neighbor that comes in for the burgers?
Which one? The funeral director or the other guy?
No, the one that's always in there for burgers.
Because the funeral director's Mort, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Morty,
it's Mort.
I think.
Yeah.
Or Morph. Okay.
It's
what's his name? I know his voice and everything.
He has like a.
Shit.
He looks like he's a technician of something. Like he works
he looks
for.
like a fisherman.
We're all picturing the same man.
Yeah.
Carl? No. Maybe
it is Carl.
He has like just a white guy name. I can't remember what his name is.
It is a very white guy name. Hang on.
Carl? That's a white guy's name. I
gotta look at the cast. Oh.
Did he just come to you?
Phil?
It's nothing like Carl.
It's not Phil either.
It was a former president's name.
Teddy.
Yes.
I like Teddy's voice.
I was like,
it's dumb as hell, but
like
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like a happy, like the white guy name. I was like, what is it? Also, check out this cat emote that I got.
Oh god!
Everybody gets a free look at the Patches emote.
Where did Patches come from?
Patches is a streamer's cat.
All right.
We don't need no stinking Patches. Yeah, we do. Sorry.
I used to have like so many cat emotes, and I just have Patches.
Oh no! I closed Hobble stream.
Oh no!
Oh no! I closed it. Look up Bob's Burgers, people. A shame.
That's okay. I can allow that.
Bob's Burgers land. Ooh, hair in my ear.
Do they still do the Arby's with the voice actor for Bob? I don't think those commercials are airing anymore. Like they're
Is that
not
a
making
thing?
any new ones. Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Arby's.
I don't watch TV. So I don't see ads.
I don't have cable, yeah. Funny. Hobble's gonna go find it.
Yep.
Going on an adventure.
Linda's lyrics for the Super Bowl. Oh, just did Super Bowl commercials.
My favorite thing is for Tina that they had like gotten a friend of the
But
one of the main characters' voice actors to be Tina, and Tina was originally supposed to be a boy. And they're like, oh, so I guess I'm kind of out of my job, huh? I'm not gonna. And they're like, well, hold on.
Can you sound like a teenage girl? Isn't Louise's voice actor? Or sorry, isn't Jean's? No, one of them has a like. One of the voice actors is like not matchy match.
Well, it's Tina.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina or is it Louise?
Tina has a man's voice.
Okay,
so does Linda.
Yeah,
that might be who I'm thinking.
you're
of.
right. It's John Benjamin. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, Tina's
One of my
with,
favorite
like,
YouTubers
Aaron.
is Mr. Fishwater. That's probably why I think of him so quickly.
Aha. Yeah, it was
That
Arby's.
would be
He
a
did
really
The guy
good-
commercials
from
for
Majority
Arby's.
Report.
That would be a really good like alternate name for Ryba. His last name.
Fishwater. His name is Russian for fish idiot.
We
Rybo
love
Durak
we
is
love
fish
this.
idiot in Russian.
We love this.
Let's see. He plays the voice.
I have had the luck of being able to play one of my D&D characters' kids before in a campaign. And the behind-the-scenes debates that went on between me and the other player who played her other parent about what we would name the kid in character was like probably the most stressful like week of conversations I've ever had with a person because we were just not seeing eye to eye on what we thought the characters would name the kid. It was so stressful. But like now whenever I name my own characters, I'm like, oh thank God that I'm in charge. I'm like, I don't have to agree with anybody. It can be whatever I want. This is awesome.
I didn't know he played Coach McGurk in Home.
Oh
Movies.
yeah, McGurk. Yeah.
Coach McGurk.
Home Movies was a weird.
Home Movies was good
Show.
though.
I don't know that I know that show.
So many Adult Swim shows are just fucking bonkers, but I love them.
There's nothing wrong with an off-the-wall show, honestly.
Yeah.
At least they're like unique and stand out. And so
I watched a shit ton of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I love that stupid show.
We never had Adult Swim as a kid.
Oh.
Like we didn't have it here.
I couldn't watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force for long episodes. Like, I could one episode a month was as much as I could tolerate.
You could tolerate those little 10 to 15 minute episodes, and that was it.
Yeah,
That's what they started as.
Shake and Meatball. Shake drove me up the wall. Meatball, I really like Frylock.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was Carl the one next door?
Yeah, Carl. They got the heavy New Jersey accent.
Yeah, he.
Yep.
I had to
Not
be in
knowing
a very
anything about
special
fucking
mood for
this
that.
show.
wicked.
Very confusing to hear.
It's very
We
good. You
should
can
watch.
find a lot of stuff if you're resourceful.
That's fair.
very
YTV
good.
late night we used to watch. So it would be like South Park and like Robot Chicken and stuff like that. But beyond that,
It's alive.
I used to watch a lot of Mystery Science Theater. That's a product of Canada.
it's true.
Things I did not
It
know.
started off on like Canadian like public broadcast.
Unlike CBC.
It's some like weird late night slot like at like 2
Love
in the
to see
morning or
it.
some shit.
Yeah. There's some weird shit that shows up on
It's-
Canadian
It's
public,
so good though.
public TV shows or whatever.
I haven't
Who'da
watched
thought?
Mystery Science Theater in a while, but I'll occasionally just see an episode and I'll go, I'm gonna watch the full thing. Like, here's 2 hours of my life.
Not wasted.
Manos Hands of Fate. Let's go.
It's not wasted if you're enjoying it. That's the way it goes.
I
Look
kind
at
of miss
Briar
that
as well.
weird old shit that used to come on between those god awful infomercials. You knew you were up too late when those stupid infomercials came on that were like 3 hours long
Uh-huh.
for the same shit. You're like, oh no, I've made mistakes. Where's the bed? Where's the
When I used
remote?
to, if I was ever homesick from school, it was my favorite thing to watch, like, Judge Judy and, like,
Yeah.
Murray and shit that was just, like, on during the day. Like, daytime, just shit TV. It's, like, my favorite
all
thing.
that, like, garbage reality TV and
then
and
like, you see the headlights of
soap
your
opera
parents.
shit.
Yeah, you're like your mom's headlights come down the street. You're like, and you like quickly change it to something else because it's like, I can't be seen watching Murray. Come on.
There's so many like local businesses and stuff that we just have Jerry on.
Yeah, like that was.
I'm like, you're
daytime
just
TV,
running
like,
this all the
why?
time? Okay.
The peak of cinema entertainment. Of all the options in the entire world for a thing that they could show, that is the thing that they choose.
Here I am at a Chinese restaurant and it's on the TV and there's like two fat people fighting over cake. I'm like, great. This is just normal television. Great. Fantastic.
See, it was
my other favorite things to do is to watch, like, even when I was in, like, say I'm in high school and I stay homesick, watching like Treehouse TV, like little kids shows. And you're just like, time to go to sleep. Let's put on, like, what would it be, like the Magic School Bus and like the Backyardigans. You're like, I'm falling asleep. Yeah. My ex has this clip of me where we were watching the Magic School Bus. Okay. For context, this is the kind of adults that we are. Sitting on the couch in my old apartment, and like she noticed that I was just sitting there.
Hey, Cube, roll me a deck save real quick for no reason.
All right.
Frightening.
Oh, and then he instantly leaves, which makes me feel way worse about it. Where did?
Hang on.
Why can't I open the? I can't open my thing. I gotta reset real quick.
Broke it. It's like, y'all aren't playing me. Fuck you. Breaks.
Do you need just a D20 roll?
There, I got it.
Okay.
You said deck save?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his save is on this sheet, but I'll just roll this.
If it doesn't specifically say you have proficiency, then you don't. So it would just be whatever
I
your
probably
dex
don't.
mod is.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I basically have an NPC sheet.
Yeah, if it doesn't specifically say, like, it'll say saves, and you'll have 2 that you're proficient in, probably. If it doesn't say dex, then you just don't have a bonus.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had to read a stat block.
Yeah,
been a while.
It's been a while. But yeah, so she has this video of me where I'm watching the Magic School Bus, and the cats are like on my lap or whatever, and like it's a video shot from like the side of my face, and it's like a full-length Snapchat video, like whatever, however long you can make a Snapchat, like 2 minutes long or whatever. And I don't blink a single time in that video.
Oh no!
I remember you were mentioning that.
I don't blink a
it's
single
just very,
time.
very
All
weird.
right. So
with Magic School Bus, Miss Frizzle would get canceled like immediately. She took those people in the they took the kids into the reproductive like system of salmon. No, she'd be fired.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Welcome
how you guys
back to
doing?
Magic
Really taking the kids to school, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
so
Only important
Merrick and
discussions.
Quinn go off into the captain's quarters for a little bit. What are the rest of y'all doing?
We sat down and started talking about this thing called Bob's Burgers. It's from a tavern.
Oh, okay.
and then we were talking about this weird
Varys mentions
fire
in another
mage.
town nearby that there's this really cool little burger place. And then we talk about it. Our favorite burger places.
Okay. Yeah. While you guys are doing that, you actually see the crew is kind of like doing what little maintenance they can right now. And Ferrum actually goes over and starts working on some of the rigging. And he as he's working on the rigging, you see like the pulley that's like he's pulling the rigging through. The pulley snaps off of the hand railing, and the rigging starts to fall up. And Brian, you nearly get hit by the sail coming down and crashing into the deck.
Oh no!
You're gonna kill me already. God damn.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, upon that very loud thud of the bottom support of the sail crashing into the side rails and hitting the deck, Merrick and Quinn return from the captain's quarters. Kinda?
Do they come all the way up?
Are
you trying to keep us here longer? What the hell are you doing?
You said we might want to stay. You did not specify before you and Quinn disappeared. So we've just been talking about burgers and food and putting around and fixing little thingies.
I'm talking about the fucking support for the mast falling down.
And
I don't care what you talk about as long as the ship gets repaired and not destroyed further.
Farum kind of speaks up at this point. That was me. The pulley came out. It looked like it was only hanging on by a splinter, and I didn't notice. I think we can. I'll just put it back about a foot away. And you kind of see him take the pulley and like undo the rigging enough that he can start putting that back in place to get the sail back up.
I just look at him as he's doing it, stare at him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You about 30 seconds after he starts, he kind of looks over his shoulder and starts working a little faster.
Yep. Seeing other people on the deck being reprimanded, I'm gonna go find something to make busy with.
I'm also gonna look busy and be like, oh, it's okay that I almost got hit because I didn't get hit, and then try to get to work on something.
All right. Okay. And the crew scatters to go do their various things, and yeah. So
people away from the conference was a success.
So how long are you guys staying in this port at this point?
Well, it's like the middle of the night right now, isn't it?
Probably
Evening.
Probably not a good time to be out trailing.
Because we got in late.
Yeah,
we got
you guys
in at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, you guys got in at like 2 or 3, so it's probably 4:30 in the morning at the latest.
I vote we sleep and then I can go raid the town in the morning, assuming the townsfolk haven't just suddenly sprouted from the ground.
We can do a more thorough search of town see what happens to the townspeople, because we didn't find them down there, right? Like they were not down in that catacomb.
Not that you saw.
Yeah, I don't remember finding any bodies.
We did find that teleportation circle, so it's possible that they went through. But like, I don't know why the cultists would have rounded them up and taken them through some kind of teleportation device. Doesn't exactly make.
I don't have enough spell slots for a whole town. Are you kidding me?
We need to wait for Ryba. He's the most important. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so you guys go ahead and take a long rest, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys awaken about
I did it.
11:30-ish, almost noon, and you kind of take a look at the town from the dock, and it looks just as empty as it did last night.
That's not great.
I already fixed that.
It would have been too good to be true. Okay. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get to scavenging supplies where we can. I'm going to check out Fizzbolt's shop.
All right. So
do we want to stay paired up?
Yeah, Merrick's going to the boat ship shop. Where are the rest of y'all going?
Let's split up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a good idea to stay paired up.
You're gonna take Quinn with you. Whoa, accent. I'm sick.
That's the wrong voice.
Shoot.
Take Quinn with
you take Quinn with you, won't you, Captain? Because the tiefling lady, man, bear, pig. What are you, Leah?
Lady.
Because tiefling lady have very valid points. You should not go by self. Like, take a friend.
Right.
I'm assuming Quinn.
Right. No, actually, if we're going to be getting off the ship, we need people here somewhat competently pair efforts. Brian, why don't you come with me?
I get to come?
Yes, there's no one here that... Yes, you can come with me.
He's a little giddy, and then he tries to, hide it.
Alright, so you two are going boat ship shop. What are the other two of you doing?
Once I get the chuckles under control and give Captain a good-natured pat on the back, I'm going to see if I cannot find boat supplies.
Do we want to see if there's a carpenter in town?
we can do that
Something
while
that
we
would
find out the
specifically
people.
be a ship shop. Yeah, look around for people and like look for like lumber.
Okay.
Air-
So-
Uh,
So 2 of you are going to Advanced Auto Parts. 2 of you are going looking into the murders of an entire town.
I figured
we are
could
going
do
to
both.
look for wood, and also if we see bodies or footprints, we will investigate them.
Yeah. It's,
Okay.
we
I
keep
would
eyes-
also like to mention, and this would be readily visible, the sails are by far the most fucked up part of the
Yeah,
ship right
the
now.
sails.
Okay.
So- Canvas would
The mast,
also probably be
Yeah.
good to find, in
the-
addition to wood.
Between the sails and the mast,
Sail?
it honestly looks like if a strong enough gust of wind came by, your mast would just snap right now.
But Tyrion,
can
being the
reinforce
bosun, would know. Like,
Yeah.
yes, we go after this. We
Yeah.
then we go after that.
You-
Then we go after this.
Tyrion would know what materials would be best suited to fix what and what you can make do with.
Okay.
Your main things to be looking for smaller repairs would consist of like rope and tar and that kind of thing. Larger repairs do need raw lumber though.
Yeah.
And like the materials to like anchor raw lumber in place.
So we're looking for nails and like, yeah, tools probably, because I don't imagine that there are repair tools and stuff like that.
There are some on the boat, but
Pretty
some
sure
of these
there's
things
repair
might need
tools
something
on the
to
boat.
yeah.
Gotcha. So we're looking
Uh,
for a house with a big veranda on the front of it, like a covered porch. That's what we're looking for.
Or that
If
smells
there's like
of
an if there's
sawdust.
like an event, like some kind of tent set up in town, we'd like to rip
Okay.
that down as well.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be fair about this.
Big
Leah,
talk circus tent. Yes.
high or low for who goes first into what their pair is doing?
Low, because it's more fun.
I rolled a 1.
Aha!
So
As low as you can go.
we will do Varys and Tyrion first. So yeah, the 2 parties kind of go off into town. One with a known destination, the other one just kind of wandering.
We're sussing it out.
Yeah. Do you all go to any building in particular, or
I
do you
want to
just
look
kinda
around the
start-
docks first, and then
Yeah, I guess. See if
Like,
the
check for
harbor
tools
master
and stuff like
had
that. Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and give me investigation checks.
Mine's going to be a natural 1 because Jill's paid for it.
Ah.
So this is the
Yay!
first roll investigation.
Why is it natural 20?
Well,
The dicks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
it's just a nat 1 for me. There's no extra to
Sorry,
add to that.
it's so
Funny.
you guys kind of go about town,
I was
looking through
complaining
the dock.
the whole time you were gone. I was complaining about how unlucky I am all the time. By the way,
That's not surprising.
yeah,
Mhm.
this is the dice showing off.
And yeah, you guys kind of start spreading out the dock area at first, and you're kind of looking through, and you're finding like on the different docks going out over the water, like there's a coil of rope here, there's a couple pieces of timber there, as you do, and Tyrion, at one point you actually managed to find a bucket of usable tar, and in like a moment of, oh wow, that's really useful, you kind of take a step forward a bit too fast, and well, you as you're walking
Oh, no.
forward, the plank that you go to step on
Mhm.
gives. Give me a dexterity save.
Okay. Thank God that wasn't the natural one I had to use. Dex saves. Do. Where is a D20? There's a D20. 6.
You kind of go forward towards this bucket of very nice tar, and as your foot gets caught, you just kind of go and try to catch yourself. And as you go to catch yourself, you put your hand down in front of you, and that hand also goes through the same board because it's rotted. And the bucket of tar at this point is like on a diving board that's just been broken off, except right at the hinge, and kind of dumps into the water. And your arm and leg are now stuck in the dock.
I'm gonna let out a very loud, frustrated yell because we haven't seen anybody yet, and I'm just going to assume right now.
May I extract Tyrion from the deck?
Give me a strength check.
Just strength or athletics?
I'll let you athletics. Unrelated question: how much does Tyrion weigh?
It's okay. It's a natural.
My God.
Okay, well,
Never
never mind. With minimal effort,
I had to complain. And now my dice are like stunting on me.
With minimal effort, you kind of take a second. You just kind of grab Tyrion and like two
Go wide
solid,
stance, grab him. Yeah.
and you just kind of with one easy motion just pull up and just kind of rotate and set them back on their feet and just kind of brush a bit of rotted wood off their shoulder.
Well done. That was interesting. I roll my shoulders, make sure they aren't like popped out of socket with the force.
You're like
she just
slightly lighter
hit-
than I expect you to be when I pick you up.
Yeah.
It's like, like
yeah.
you go flying up.
No damage, but the bucket of tar is now in the water. So,
Well, that is. Nope, that happens, and I start off in the other direction to see if I can't
Well,
find anything on the other side of the dock.
okay.
I ignored it. Didn't happen.
And to just kind of hand wavy it, you guys find enough supplies that you could make do. Like it's by no means going to be like fixed proper, but it would be enough to. Let's see. You said the sales are at about that, and it's every. It would be enough to
exact numbers. I can give them to you.
Yeah. I'm trying. I just need to check a
I can
thing.
also
'cause
do so.
I know the exact numbers. I just need to double check the penalty for the damage to the sale. Okay.
Whatever, mind, I cannot.
You managed to find enough material to if nothing else, get these sales back up to a total of 25 health to restore a little bit of movement speed.
Good.
So
We like the sound of that.
yeah, so you get enough for that with your kind of scavenging. So
we drop
And-
this stuff off, and then we go into town. Yes, sounds good to you.
Sounds good.
just are we going to investigate the missing peoples, or are we just going to town to see if we can go find an open pub?
Once we have dragged the stuff back to the ship, I assume if we had extra time and like other people hadn't returned to the ship yet, we could take another walk around, see what else we can run across. Because we had just been kicking around the docks, right? Like we didn't go very far.
Yeah, just the docks. And if you in your ultimate investigations didn't find anything, I'm assuming we'll have to go further into the town.
That's what it sounds like.
So one thing I will give you with the crit investigation check and a little bit of hindsight, the very ends of the docks, like the parts farthest out, they are like on the surface they look okay, but if you like try to put a lot of weight on them, the boards there fairly rotted through on all of them.
Okay.
So
like the dock just doesn't appear to have been maintained very well, or
yeah, it just looks like a couple years of wear and tear, like just
Gotcha.
in the elements. And
Gotcha.
well, we'll see how much time you have as we go to Brian and Merrick. So you guys, well, Merrick, you know where you're going, and you kind of bring Brian with you. I don't know how distracted Brian gets on this particular walk around.
I'm a little distracted. I want to look for wanted posters of myself to see if there's any in this town.
Okay, go ahead and give me either perception or investigation. I'll let you pick on this one. He's not great at either, if memory serves.
I'll just use perception. I think it's just a +2.
Yeah.
not bad.
I'll just roll wisdom.
Man,
5. No.
It's really weird that this
That's
town
so
is
weird.
really empty. It's like honestly throwing you off how the lack of people.
Does Merrick notice that I'm looking around? He does.
Of course he does. Do you know the answer to that question?
Does he notice Yes.
Yeah. If this question starts with "Does Merrick notice?" the answer is just yes in this game.
Right? And anyone in
If
posters, you can
someone
calm
asks
down.
if Merrick notices, you say yes.
Merrick really quickly makes a wanted poster. Yeah.
But
You mean like this?
yeah, no, I mean, Merrick, you do notice Brian just kind of aimlessly
Like,
looking
anytime I see a
around.
job board or anything, I'm just staring at it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to pay too much attention to what Brian is looking at, but going through the town in the daylight, what I would like to take note of is to see if I can find some kind of evidence of how long there has been no one here.
Okay.
Like wear and tear on buildings in terms of upkeep. If it's like there's always the one person in town that doesn't keep things up that the HOA has to keep hounding, but just in general.
Are you looking as
Fantasy
you're
if there's
walking, or are
HOA
you
still.
actually like stopping to like look at individual buildings as you're going?
If I see something that would indicate, okay, so if I'm seeing a lot of evidence of things that would indicate that it's been more than what Varys has said it has been in terms of time frame, like a couple of days of neglect, I'm going to try to find out exactly how much.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check then to start.
Why even bother?
Well,
Oh, he might roll one.
yeah, he can roll low. He does. It's honestly funny how many times he's rolled low on perception checks with his ungodly
It's
passive.
hilarious.
And it's still a 16.
Yeah. One's a 1, though. Alright, so you kind of, as you're looking around, you kind of take a thing, and down the main street, you don't notice a lot. Like, it's like, okay, upkept, nice, windows are dark, but that's not too out of the ordinary. As you kind of turn off to the side street, though, there is a noticeable decline. Like, boards, the paint's there, but kind of worn. Boards are kind of like splintering at the edges a little bit. Some of the metal chains on like the signs in the area are rather rusty.
So I'm getting the feeling that the cultists kept up the main thoroughfare, and then that's about it, just to keep up with things.
It does appear that way.
Okay.
It appears that the main thoroughfare is well kept, and anything off of it, not nearly as maintained.
Okay.
It's like Vegas.
Yikes.
I'm not wrong.
All right.
You're not wrong.
I guess while investigating this, since Brian is just kind of or by me.
This is what
Yeah.
outside is like.
Yeah, it really seems like I guess the cultists were just keeping up with things on the main road and didn't care about things on the side. Certainly doesn't look like anyone's been here, an active village within the last week, if year.
I think with that, I would notice after it being pointed out. If I rolled super low, I was just going to pretend.
Smile and
Yeah.
Yeah.
nod. Oh, yeah. Weird.
As Brian, as a fine connoisseur of high quality architecture, no, but no. There is a very
Yeah, these
noticeable.
buildings-
There's a noticeable decrease in quality as you get off the main street.
He's a Richie Rich type, so maybe they all look kind of shitty. But
Well, he's been with you guys for a couple months at this point. So
sure, he's used to shitty.
I don't know how they managed to do this. Very weird.
anyway, are you doing any more kind of investigating, or are you just going to the boat ship shop at this point?
No,
Okay.
let's I mean, I'm generally curious about what the hell happened here. So if something happens to catch my eye that says, hey, this is what happened here, then yeah, I'll stop. But otherwise, I'm just gonna go to this hole.
Well, with your
note.
with your ungodly passive, nothing like that.
See the
immediately-
exposition board.
Yeah, nothing immediately catches your eye as a obvious sign of what's going on.
Okay.
So, and you make your way to the, funnily enough, familiar door that looks pristine. By the way, like the door itself looks perfect, but the frame is like seen better days of the boat ship shop.
Alright,
Hold the same
I'm
door.
going to I guess that's how the portal works. Alright. Well, let's
Brian's never
let's
seen this
go in.
before.
Yeah, no, Brian hasn't actually been to the boat ship shop yet.
Oh, right. Funny thing about this shop, I don't know exactly if it exists in one place, it just has doors to many other places. It's real weird. Let's just go in and see if anyone's there.
All right. And like when we go in, is it like obviously the dimensions of the building don't match the interior?
Oh, very clearly.
I totally do a Doctor Who moment and walk out, walk back in, walk out, walk back in.
Yeah, Merrick, though, you kind of reach down to the handle and you turn the knob and push the door open, and there is the interior of the boat ship shop.
What's the name of the town that we're in?
Well, that is an excellent question. That this town doesn't exactly have a sign on it anywhere. So
Fair, but like we were using a map to get to it, so I didn't know if like the map would have had a name on it.
I mean, there's a name on there if you can see what it says.
It says
I
abandoned
sure-
town.
I sure as heck can.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure.
That's what it is.
I never really locked in my feet from the level up, so let me just go ahead and do Keen Mind. All right.
No, but
Kidding.
here.
It's the DM. Give me your notes. See,
Oh, I forgot about that.
you write notes for us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Hobble, we're level 8. You should probably, yeah.
I didn't make a choice for my ASI or feat, so I will have to do that later. But I'm not going to do it mid session.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's it's a small town. I'm just gonna go do my cheat sheet of name of fish that I use. Because
Carpe carpum.
Ah.
He's the fish.
saltwater fish list.
Fish.
Carpe carpum.
It's a town known as Steenbras.
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 Okay, that is unfortunate spelling for you and puns. Alright, Steenbras. Let's go.
Yeah. And as you're walking to the boat ship shop, you see Jebediah sitting at his desk reading a paper, and he kind of puts it in and is like, oh, wait, you came from there? No one's come from there in a couple years. And he kind of sets the paper down on the desk and walk over. Well, it's good to see you again. What can I do for you?
Oh my word. Yeah, nobody came for a couple of years because there was a crazy cult in the town.
Oh, I just assumed the door broke and I never got a chance to send someone out there to fix it.
No, they had an actual fucking anti-magic field on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that feels very spiteful.
Very
Fix
what?
that. You owe us.
Spiteful.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, I think it was just it was an unintended consequence that they had other motives. Anyway, our ship is fucked.
Oh.
What was the going rate for repairs?
Well, and he goes into a very... You ever talk to a mechanic, but only... And like he starts getting into the super detailed things of how your cars work?
Ah. Just imagine talking to a programmer.
Yeah, he essentially does that. What it eventually breaks down to is 2 gold a hit point.
All right, let me
Pricey.
just
He says
yeah,
your wang
have-
janglers all out of whack.
Yeah,
let me
Fix
just
that.
have
the
some
wing jangler, the-
equations fly by my face here real quick.
It
All
costs
right,
about
there's
2 gold.
Jangler.
It is 2 gold a hit point, a component. I figured that was easier than having a different rate for every component.
Okay. So, not that Merrick knows this yet, but the sales can get up to 25. Alright, so 75.
You get
The
a
whole is
discount for purchasing in bulk.
How much
Does
is
it
fixing
matter?
your door worth?
Does a mechanic charge you less for getting 4 tires?
If my car is
Sometimes.
only a husk, do I pay less than if it just needs an oil change?
He will repair the ship as much or as little as you request, but the rate is 2 gold per hit point per item.
Tough but fair.
Make those hit points count.
honestly, alright, let me just get the
I'm like
calculator out,
90% sure you guys can just afford to get the ship fixed fully as well.
That's kind of
Buy a
what
new
I
boat.
was getting at here, but let me just do the math real quick to figure out the exact
God,
number.
Wait, hold on.
Captain, what if we did a trade-in?
Oh.
He sells actual ships as well. So
A fight.
We buy used ships.
Okay, so our ship, including the mild repair up to 25 on the sale, the total damage is 243 to all components. So that would be 486 gold.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure one of you guys can afford that. Well, one of you guys currently playing a PC.
Boom, 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 boom.
I have 5 gold.
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
broke as hell. My whole ship went down. I just have pocket change on me, so.
Yeah. Merrick himself has over 1,400 on him. So,
yeah.
Uh,
Jill's asked a
Yep.
valid question. Did they leave us with a party record of the party gold? I don't think they did.
don't think so. I think
Yeah.
because you were it wasn't readily available when the question was asked, but we knew we had 2 weeks of supplies.
Yeah,
Is where we left off.
yeah. Which
Not
at
a
this
big
point,
deal because
yeah.
Merrick has enough in his pocket.
I didn't mention it at the time, but Ryba left all of his magical gear and money in his room. I'm just kidding.
Right. Of course, like you do, I don't suppose we may get a discount on things, seeing as we restored access to your shop to a port city.
I have to take a walk to go look at your ship to give you an exact quote anyway, so we can discuss that on the way there.
We'll walk and talk.
Walk
He's
him
like,
out,
hold on,
steal
let
a boat."
me grab a thing real quick. I don't think that town has a maintenance door. You see him kind of run over into a large filing cabinet, kind of grab a step stool, go up to the top shelf, open it up, and you see him pull out a small bottle with a cork in the end of it, and kind of shove that back in.
Right. For the
Where
ship.
this is going again. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of go back down, put the ladder back. He's like, okay, you know where your ship is, and shall we?
Jill
Yes,
says
let's.
party fund is 3,945 gold, by the way.
Thank you, Jules. I've made a note of
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
Hey there, Turtle
And,
Singer.
So you guys go your way. As he's going out the door, he yells back to Wizbolt saying he'll be back in a minute. You kind of hear just a okay, followed by the sound of a muffled explosion.
I'm sure that's fine.
It's like he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, he's a tinkerer. He's fine.
He's one of the. He's actually the one that made this door system for me.
Yes, that makes sense.
Anyway, and you kind of see him walk out into the side street of this town and be like, "Well, this place looks abandoned."
There's a good reason for that.
You know, a cult would do that.
Yeah.
However,
Hmm.
you know, now that the problem has been taken care of in the village, it can be repopulated.
Real estate's
Would-
probably really cheap as well.
Who even owns this stuff anymore?
You do.
You do
That is an
now.
excellent selling point for repopulating it.
Did you have a good time streaming Celeste
Frontier
earlier?
Town.
Give me a
We'll
persuasion
trade
check
you a
from each
town
of
for a
you.
boat.
Persuasion.
Yeah,
check.
both
Yeah,
no,
the
both
answer
of you
owns the town. We do.
give me a persuasion. So that's about what I expected from Merrick.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Uh-huh.
Brian's actually good at talking in theory.
He good at word making. Let's do it.
I like your words, Magic Man.
It's all right.
Who owns this town? Nobody at the moment.
Wink.
Because if we
he's
own
like,
the town,
all right,
bank, make him run the town, and we just take the gold.
where it's
What's his
Hey.
name again? Is it
what the
Jebediah.
guy? Yeah.
Jebediah.
Yeah.
How does Mayor Jebediah sound?
Like a lot of paperwork I don't want to do.
But what about your
Yeah, but
banjos?
Mayor, you can do as little paperwork as you want.
You know what? That's fair. However, we are very entrepreneurial ourselves, and we are in need of a base of operation. So,
All right. Well, I will offer this then as a thing. In the town's current state, not really a lot to offer. However, business starts coming back through this door. We'll talk. Anyway, where's your ship? I need to have a look at it.
docks or this way, and
All right.
start walking.
And you guys,
The only one.
Well,
Hard to
I put that together at this point, but you guys walk your way back to the dock. At this point, Varys and Tyrion, are you all still trying to? You finished your supply gathering about this
Mhm.
point and kind of have everything on the ship. What do you do? And Merrick is not in sight right away.
Start taking a look around. Like, give a wave to Merrick and Brian. I don't know, Tyrion. We're waiting for them. Or are we gonna go off and look around? We didn't get a chance to look for people yet.
Since they are still off doing their thing, let's go and look for people. Ferrum.
They're right there. They're just walking back.
They wouldn't be walking. They wouldn't be back
Oh,
at the
okay.
docks yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like, kind of, you all have a little bit of time.
Ferrum, you understand how to rebuild the hit Brian stick, right? The giant mast.
Wait, that hit Brian's stick or that hit Brian's stick? There's a lot of sticks that have hit Brian on this ship at this point.
Okay, fair. I give you that. The big mast one, the latest new stick.
Working on that. We need.
Okay.
I think we need to replace that railing before the pulley will go back in properly for the rigging.
Okay, are you good with some of the other people on the boat? Because me and Tat, this is a Merrick problem all over again.
You get the
Varys.
feeling that someone's talking about you.
Leah, what is your
Varys.
Varys.
You got it.
Me and Varys are going to go snoop around for one more supplies, but also where the fuck did everybody go? You know.
All right. Don't get eaten by a water snake that drowns people? Question mark.
I knock on the bit of wood that's not busted to shit. Thank you. We're trying not to do that.
All right, and you guys
Fingers crossed.
go off the gangplank and go back into town. Go ahead and give me another round of investigation checks.
Sure thing. Comparing what I saw of town last time to what I'm seeing now is the kind of goal.
As the captain of your former ship, what you typically do, or did in this case, I think I can say, is you pulled into a dock, you went and addressed the paperwork at like their main access of wherever for any cargo manifest or anything.
Harbor Master's
Yeah.
place or
And
merchant
essentially,
company or whatever.
so the only place you ever really traveled was the town's main thoroughfare.
Yeah.
So, as long as you stay on the thoroughfare, it looks identical but abandoned. Like, identical, but there's no one here.
Fair.
Alright, that's a 12 from you. What did you get, Tyrion?
11.
Okay. It doesn't take...
Exceptionally average.
Yeah, it doesn't take... Like, you don't need to be Merrick to realize that once you go off the main stretch of road, things take a noticeable turn in quality. I will say, you don't find, like, any bodies, you don't find any signs of struggle. At most, you don't even... It doesn't even look like anyone's come here to loot the place. It just looks like everyone just up and left.
And it does look like they left, like, suddenly, or does it look like they went kicking and screaming? Like, is there furrows in the road that aren't... Oh, that's obviously a horse, or a cart, or some shit.
It's hard to tell. It looks like time has made it hard to tell. Like, there is no obvious sign of any movement apart from your own crews.
Do we know, like, I remember there was mention that there was a tavern, that's kind of where we had been headed, the one we initially came into town. Is there an inn, anything like that here, that I would know of?
Make a history check.
I can do that.
You don't remember, yeah. Maybe it was upstairs at the tavern? It's hard to say.
I would like to swing by the tavern if we can.
Okay. Yeah, you guys go by the tavern unless Tyrion has an objection. Which,
no.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys make it to the tavern and the door is still ajar from the night before.
While we're walking and talking, I'm going to explain to Tyrion. I think we should look for logbooks. Any record of, like, the last time people were updating their records, anything like that, and the tavern's probably the best place to check, because it was definitely active the last time I was here. I'm just curious what has happened between that time and now, and how much of that was... I don't know. How much of that actually happened? I'm starting to doubt what I saw when I was here the last time. Doesn't feel very possible.
Alright, that sounds... It's good to me. Like, I've never... Wait. Where is this town? How far is this town away from where I grew up? Not very far, is it?
Well, you grew up with your... You spent the
islands,
latter half of your growing up with the Orcish family, right?
Yes.
Alright. It's a couple days by boat from here.
I do remember that there were people. Yes, there were people here. So you're not totally crazy. And tavern seems like the most busy ever.
Tyrion, make me a history check.
History. There it is. Okay. Dice, come to me, my friends. I hit the dragon in the face. Ah, fucking hell! You dice hate me today. 7.
It's hard. You had more important things on your mind than where incoming ships were coming from, so...
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I remember there being people here, and taverns seem like the most optimal place to start.
The name sounds familiar. The name that I've already forgotten, but it sounds familiar.
If the town was down on its luck and kind of, like, died in a way a town sometimes does, the tavern would be the last place in business, I'm telling you that.
Okay. I trust you with this. I've traveled enough to see this sort of shit. I mean, hell, our own crew. Normally, we let them off the boat, and they'll go, tavern! Or house. They do
my
their
crew
shit.
is the same. Hard to keep a crew away
Your
from a
crew
tavern, I'll tell you that.
Was the same.
Was the same.
I can bring pain. Anyway,
I love the idea of all the cultists in this town basically pulling a Home Alone, and they're all like doing costume changes and pretending to be multiple people to make it look populated.
That was another question that I kind of had. I was thinking about it in the week off. I'm like, did I recognize any of the cultists from the last time I was in town?
All of the cultists were wearing masks.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So you guys
At the tavern.
make your way to the tavern. You kind of go in and
Looking for spoiled
Leah,
food, but also like record books.
would
anything.
Varys have gone into the tavern the night they were here before
Most
their
likely.
cargo? Okay.
Yeah, that was her
Um,
first move when we arrived with this ship. Was like, I
Yeah.
want a hot meal. Let's go get a hot meal.
Okay. It honestly looks like the room hasn't moved since you left. It's just the people are gone.
Weird.
Like almost to the point where you can just walk over to the table you were at and grab your tankard again.
That's so weird. Going to like the kitchen area, sticking my head in. Is it all like spoiled food back there, or is it relatively normal? Or
It's the kitchen itself. There is definitely some noticeable food. It's not okay. So there is like food that has been sitting out. Like you can visibly see like some breads, some cheeses. There's a couple eggs over on a thing, and like it looks like it's been sitting out for a couple of days.
but not like long time.
Yeah. It is also worth noting that the amount of food here only slightly more than your ship would actually. You know how much your crew ordered?
Yeah.
There's not really extra food apart from what you guys ordered.
So they were like just trying to keep up the appearance
There
of the town.
there
probably.
isn't even like raw ingredients more than what your group ordered.
Weird. All right. Is there like a hostess's stand, like a front desk, anything like that?
There's the bar.
Are there any like records of the last orders placed at the bar and like a date, anything like that?
Give me an investigation check. Because you're actively looking for something now.
Yes. I'm bad at that. But I am doing it. It's another 7.
You kind of just in a moment are in like a half confused, I don't want to say flurry, but like rush. Kind of go from the kitchen around to where this bar is, and like, you just kind of glance around and you don't immediately see anything.
I'm looking at Tyrion because I'm not finding anything, and I'm like, do you see any like receipts, scraps of paper, orders, tabs, anything?
I will look in the low places the bar over. Because tall tiefling is too panicked. I will look low.
Go ahead and also give me an investigation check then.
Come on, Tyrion.
12? 12. I can read.
Better than a 7.
I will say you don't find any like receipts or anything, but you kind of like, as you're looking on things that are lower to the ground, you kind of see like the bar doesn't like seat properly to the floor. And you manage to see like a little corner of paper just ever so slightly sticking out from where like there's like a gap between the bar and the floor.
I want to do 2 things. One, I want to see if I can't just pull the piece of paper out, and 2, if I can't, I want to hit it with my axe, which does crit against inanimate things, right? It does crit against inanimate things.
Your adamantine axe does.
Cool. Yes.
All right.
Thunderstruck.
No, but the paper kind of comes out. No real resistance on it.
Okay.
You kind of look at it, and I mean, you can hit the tavern bar if you still want to.
Hit it anyways.
Action to it once.
I
when
might.
You get an axe
You're dominant.
Bar, I mean, come on.
I might do that, especially since I want to look around to see if I can find any secret recipes for liquor.
Like in gold.
Okay. But no. What you have is a letter.
Open it, and can I read any of this?
You can actually. There is a formal, like the formal greeting and signature are written in Abyss, but the body of the letter is written in Common.
Okay.
And to quickly paraphrase what it says is, the main sanctum needs our gem dropped in its location. They say this town's the best way to do that, so I guess I'm cooking for the foreseeable future. Grab the next boat that we can get and get me some real food. I can only do so much with my magic.
So it looks
And-
like Cook here was idiot and just a magic idiot and didn't know how to cook normally.
You
Mother
needed
did
the
not
gem
raise him
here
right.
or something, though.
But we need Jim. Does that make? Wonder if they left it here. Did they have time to pick it up, or did the whole place just disappear?
I wonder if it was here long enough. Because the gem's probably that big anti-magic fucker, right? Like,
That would make sense. It would probably
I
be the
will
boat
say-
to move that.
The giant anti-magic device, way more complicated than just a gem. I just used the gem for the map because it was
Okay.
convenient.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
there
okay.
was a lot more to that than just a magic rock.
Okay, I
Gotcha.
kind of thought the gym was like it was just a massive anti-magic gym itself. Whoops.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
No, there is more to it than that. I just didn't want to get into the finer details on the map
The
because
magic
it's not going to.
That's fair. That's
it
fair.
didn't
That's fair.
matter. So, anyway,
Well, I look. Is there a back room, like a door to a back room or anything?
I mean, there's the door to the kitchen.
Okay, I push into the kitchen. I pull my anti-method axe out, two-hand, and I just push into the kitchen very slowly to make sure there's that one crazy guy that managed to. They all disappeared in the night, and I was left alone.
It is worth mentioning Vera's already looked in the kitchen,
Oh,
so you
I
know.
peeked in the kitchen.
Okay, well,
I'm going to do
alright,
more than peek.
You take a couple steps deeper into the kitchen, and not a sound, not a whisper, not a breath, not a. The only sounds you hear are your own boots against the wood.
Okay, I'm going to do an investigation for more paper. Hopefully, finding a recipe or two in there while I'm at it for liquor.
Okay.
That Jesus dice. That's an 8.
You kind of spend a couple minutes looking around, and unfortunately can't find much of anything.
Well then, Is there an upstairs to this tavern?
There is.
Okay. I come out and okay. So kitchen is very thoroughly. There is not even bugs or rats in there. I don't understand this. I'm going to go check upstairs.
Anyway,
With
as you guys are going upstairs, do we want to take our break now, or do we want to keep going? I know the group's been kind of split for a little bit, so just kind of trying to.
I don't mind if we keep
Good either
going.
way.
But that's up to you guys.
Okay.
Can't even let Jeff and Cube.
Yeah. If we really wanted, we could break up the group into the two parts. Well, what do you want? Okay, the cat has decided that I'm taking a break to let her out of the room. If
All
nothing
right,
else.
Callie has
There you go.
decided.
I was going to
Callie
say
has
you need a
chosen.
break too.
Break it
The
is.
cat. The cat half decided it's break time.
That's fair.
Should make my
Alright.
BRB icon Callie's face now.
I mean, I can send you plenty of images.
A Callie emote.
Oh,
I was gonna get those back for when I streamed, and then I'm like, oh, I can't. I don't really have a way of justifying this right now.
Run break.
Gonna
Normal
get
lights.
up and do some calisthenics.
Exactly.
that
Hey,
was
Jeff.
cute, Jeff. Oh, I'm gonna go bother Jill's. All right.
Sounds good. Back in like 5 or 10, or how long does break normally go?
10 or 15, yeah.
Sounds good. I'll see you
Usually
guys
it's 10 minutes and then we bullshit for about another 10. So
back. Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
see you guys back in a little
That's
bit.
how this goes.
it is just me now. And that's
Ever see a clone with an ass like this?
That's what coding your own time system is when things like the date object exist.
Like these things have been figured out like since the 60s. Like there's no reason to redo it all.
Challenge.
What gets really fucky with time zones is there's places that like, okay, so you have places that observe daylight saving, so you have places that don't.
Yep.
You even have places that like do it for like weird amounts of time. I believe there's some places that don't really do leap year or some shit. I don't know. There's so many weird things with dates.
Isn't there like one time zone that's like off by like 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's like 10 or 15-minute time zones, and it's the only place that does it.
The abbreviation for that time zone is TBS.
Yeah.
You remember when TBS did that shit? Like 8:05 was its start times.
Like why? Well, plenty of time to get there.
There was some reason why they did it. I just don't remember what it was now.
Because they hate the rest of us.
It was probably an advertiser thing, honestly.
I'm looking up weirdest.
You know
time
what? I could
zones
see
right
that.
now.
Hi, Hal.
I could totally see that. Hey, well, they'll think the show's starting at 8 o'clock because that's how all the channels work. But then we'll just run 5 minutes of ads before the show.
They were also the station that weren't they the ones that were caught speeding up syndicated shows so they could
To
fit
cram
more
more ads
ads in? Yeah. Yeah, like they did the YouTube 1.25 times speed thing before that
That's so
existed, so they
awful.
could fit another ad or two in during the show block.
I hate it.
Al, did Alf do
Um,
cocaine?
I'm searching up funny time zone things. This one is actually really interesting. So, at the border between Afghanistan and China. Okay, there's a point
Mhm.
like very, very far western China and the very corner of Afghanistan. Okay, China. There was like some kind of rule that they put in that the entirety of China would be in the same time zone. That the government just decided that regardless of how wide it was, they would all be in the same
Oh,
time zone.
no.
Okay, so
That
when you
sounds
cross
terrible.
from Afghanistan to China on that border, it is a 3.5-hour jump.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's terrible.
Official time zone wise. It says that usually they use the like actual time zone that they should be using, but like officially it's like a 3-hour time skip, which is
Yep.
ludicrous.
Anyway.
Someone that hates time zones, I'd be all for just having a single time zone, and you just learn what times you need to be awake and which times you need to be asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I feel like that would not be great.
You'd adapt.
Well, I mean, you would adapt to having time zones as well.
No, you don't. Look at
There's
all
a-
the stupid bucks.
In fact, we have.
Okay,
It's kind of the
if time
adaptation
zones
we have.
were purely just on latitude and not have any kind of political backing to them, it would not be that bad.
Apparently Australia is like hell for time zones. There's like 3 separate towns where it's like half the towns in one time zone, half the towns in the other time zone.
Yeah.
And then this one is an hour and 45 minutes time zone difference from the next town next to it. And you're like, why?
I would
Does
watch
the
the
sun
hell out of
Time zones
that
need to be
Perfectus.
smooth
sleep
gradient.
you? Like,
And yeah, I think Singer is right. GMT beats everybody up. But I would
Yeah,
also
it's
watch
true.
the hell out of that Perfectus.
I mean, that's, UTC. Like everything, all of the time
GMT is-
zones are based off of a UTC offset, which is GMT. Although I think there's like some kind of, can't remember. I thought there was some kind of difference where GMT wasn't exactly UTC for parts of the year because there was daylight savings, and then
yeah.
I don't
I
think
think
they
that
do
time
daylight
messes it
savings
up.
anymore. And
If time zones were purely just
I
a
don't-
straight line and no like government or like
but that
country
also
blowout-
presents problems because then
Yes.
you have towns where half of the town
half.
is on one time and the
Uh-huh.
other half of the town's on a different time. You can't do that.
Okay.
You could do the Russia thing, which is where the Trans-Siberian Railway, which runs like across the entirety of Russia, all of the train times are in Moscow time. regardless of where you pick up the train. It's all in Moscow time.
That's horrible as well.
So you could be like the middle of the night, and your train's supposed to leave at 9 a.m., but you need to be at the train station because 9 a.m. is the middle of the night for that train.
If time zones were a smooth gradient, you'd be able to move fast enough that time wouldn't move.
It's true. We just need enough time zones.
See,
That's
that
that's-
thing with
Okay.
the-
You
Are
just
we
sit for a while.
we
Yeah,
all
we
back?
went.
Are we all back at this point?
Yeah,
Like, I
speaking
don't
of the
know-
railway, we went way off those
I don't
tracks.
know what's happening. I don't know. Are we? Everyone's ready. We're gonna go back. You guys are going to the mysterious upstairs of the tavern that's abandoned, right?
We are
That's
back.
what's happening here.
Yeah, we were
Okay.
like midway, and then the scene transitioned over, I think, back to not Ryba and Captain.
You know what?
Me,
Sure.
not Ryba.
We're gonna go back to those three because
Ryba.
Yeah. All right. So. Yeah.
Oilers.
You guys are kind of
What do you give
walking
me for
back
that?
through the town.
Don't
and,
try and bribe me.
You know, Jebediah is just making off comments the entire time about how. Well, actually, do you all talk to him at all about the town, or just kind of let him just do whatever as you're taking him back to the docks?
You know, after he gets a look at the town, like I've kind of given up the idea of selling this as, you know, a burgeoning opportunity for him from that angle. So I'll let him do the mechanic talk, like all he feels like doing.
Okay. Let's just roll the dice and see if he gives up any useful information.
That'd be great.
As your guys are walking to the dock, he just kind of goes on, and he places it between 5 and 6 years between the last time someone used that door. That's
I hate that cube.
as about the extent
Not wrong.
of useful information.
That's why I hate it. How dare you?
But yeah, you guys come to the dock, and he's just kind of, oh wow, you guys look like you've been in a war zone.
Well, a little
That's a
bit,
reason.
yeah.
You know your ship really ain't made for fighting.
I know.
If you want,
Um,
if you want one, I got ships that are made for fighting.
Well, yes, but no. We really
You've
just
got a
need
boat at
this
home.
one repaired. So we got in a scuffle with a smaller ship, and then it was almost like that ship's parent came up out of the ocean real pissed that we got in a fight with that ship, and it was bad for us because we didn't expect it. It was a skeleton ship, like literal fucking skeletons that were crewing this ship. You don't see it coming. We outran it, but not before they got a bunch of shots off because we weren't expecting it. Anyway, long story short, I know she ain't made for fighting, but we got an unavoidable fight. We need it seaworthy again.
All right,
And there's not a lot happening in this town that's going to do that.
That is a fair point. Let me give her a once over, and you kind of, Jebediah goes up on the deck and kind of starts going over the ship, and you see him like grab a little like notepad out of his back pocket and a little piece of like kind of a carved piece of like a little brass tube that has a bit of charcoal in the end of it to write with, and just goes around the ship, probably taking 15-20 minutes to go over everything. Just kind of comes back later. It's like, well, besides the obvious stuff, what's up?
I think dad / mom / cat.
You can tell
I
Like
when.
the
I
webcam
take
just
care of
freezes.
Sorry,
yeah, you
I
can
just
tell
got-
when
I
he
just
walks
got
in because his
brought-
eyes get real big.
I just got brought food. It's fine.
Oh.
What you get?
I
Chicken
don't-
nuggies?
No, it's not chicken nuggies. It's something from Florida
Pop-Tart?
that I've never heard of.
Steak buffet.
I'll eat
Pop
those
tart
later.
chicken nuggies.
Pizza's the next guess. Those are the 3 food groups.
And
That's true.
But
That's true,
yeah,
that's true.
and he eventually quotes you the price that we came up with earlier that I really should have written down, but didn't because
Wrote-
I'm a bad DM.
486. 486.
Yeah, and he says it'll probably take about 4 or 5 days to get fixed at this point. Because some stuff, while the actual damage itself isn't bad, it's a pain to replace without doing some slightly larger sections. So, and he's kind of just, I mean, it's honestly still seaworthy, but I would not get caught in a storm or strong winds or shallows.
Water.
Right. And
Um,
yes, seeing as we can't predict any of those things, let's go ahead and get her repaired.
Get her done.
If I could get you to go ahead and have your crew grab any personal artifacts they may have on the ship, I'll go ahead and get her ready to put in the repair queue.
Actually, there's kind of not really a good place in town for all of us to stay at the moment. We may get that settled before we give up our sleeping quarters.
Alright, here's what I'm gonna do, because y'all have been reliable customers. I don't tend to do this because people like to use it, but if you want, I can drop you guys back off with Saltmarsh.
Twitter does not like that word.
I don't like to do this on regular occasions, but I'm not just gonna leave you guys in a ghost town to fend for yourselves for half a week.
I feel like Ryba's yelling somewhere. It's one of the first things he pointed out. I was like, why don't we just use this to travel? No.
He's very hesitant to allow it anyway. It's just like...
I know, I just give you shit.
He just kind of looks around and it's like, I can't leave you guys here. I tend to be business first, but this just... I can't even do this.
I mean, this seems like good business. You take us with us, we can pay you for shit.
You're not there.
This is why I'm saying it in Hobble voice.
Okay. This is terrible. Terrible. So, here's the thing, okay. This place is not really in great shape. And I know I certainly appreciate the offer on having us travel when that's a big no-no. I appreciate you putting your neck out there. Really do. I don't know if we can take you up on that. For a couple of reasons. One of our crew members might be coming back soon. I don't know. The other thing is, our other crew member is kind of close. There was something else I thought of that, out of character, slipped my fucking mind. But there was another very valid reason for why it would be a bad idea to go straight to Saltmarsh from here. But I can't.
Grandma?
Not so much Grandma, because they're
One of the
gonna
two
just
people,
give us
yeah.
a message when they're ready. But there was... Oh, right. There may be... Saltmarsh is kind of a risky... I'll, side-eye towards Brian. Saltmarsh is kind of a risky, destination for us until we can figure out a few more things.
Risky as in illegal activity, or risky as in you just made a bad deal and don't want to get stuck with the back end of it?
I don't want to go into too much detail because it's a private matter for a member of my crew.
Alright.
But let's just say that there may or may not be people on the ship that have taken a life on sea against the wishes of their family. And their family is looking for them. It's not really illegal.
It's just not wanting to be found. I got that.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's... I would love to go to Salt Marsh as opposed to this godforsaken place, but I don't know if that's really the best place for us to be right now.
Does it go anywhere else?
Well, I mean, I have franchises all over the coast of the Azure Sea, but, you know, I just know you guys have been in and out of the Salt Marsh door the most, so I figured that was a
Right.
home port.
And usually you would be right, but we have learned that the family is very insistent upon their member being returned to them.
Okay. How about this, then? Because I still can't just leave you guys here. Does, like, one or two of you guys want to go grab some supplies if you're camping out here? Because I feel really bad just leaving you guys here with nothing.
Actually, that's a good point. Where the hell are Tyrion and Varys? Quinn, did they come back?
They dropped off a couple supplies, and then they wanted to go. I think they were going to the tavern to see if they could figure out what happened here. They've been gone a decent chunk, but you know, I imagine they'll be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can go check on them if you'd like.
All right. Okay. Here's what we do.
Sounded very Cartman.
About to bite me. She's about to bite me.
Yep.
She's thinking about it
She
really
kind of
hard.
did that. And
Her mouth is open.
Yeah, she's not closed her mouth. She's like, I will
It's,
bite you.
You don't need
You
to
pet, I
bite.
bite.
Yahoo.
You can leave if you want to. Okay, bye.
Yes, I'm gone.
She
I am
says,
free.
you don't have to ask me twice.
Okay.
Alright.
Jedediah, if you wouldn't mind waiting here, with Quinn,
Alright.
Brian and I are going to go to the tavern. Make sure that the other members of our officer team, as it stands the other member of our officer team, as it stands right now, is doing all right.
Alright.
I'm a member.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and start writing down the work order then while you're gone.
And hey, they're at the tavern, so if the tavern's in good enough shape for us to get lodging in it, it's not like anyone's charging a fee in the town, so hey, that might work out for us, and we can let you know.
Alright, well, I ain't going anywhere with your ship, so take all the time you need. But don't take too long. I don't want to be here more than I have to.
Right, I know you've got your business to tend to, and yep, all right. Brian, come on, Brian.
Here, Brian. You're a good boy, Brian.
Come here, yeah.
Ollie looked at you like, what?
Brian, do you want a treat?
Yeah, Ollie's like, who?
I'll be your meal ticket.
Anyway,
It's just all of us like, get down, Mr. President! Like,
so
the
back
meal
ticket.
ticket.
The way to save Brian.
Meal ticket and simultaneous headache, because Brian is the primary reason we can't go the fuck back to Salt Marsh right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're causing
Especially without a
problems.
ship, because if we had a ship, we could go back to Salt Marsh and he could just stay on the ship. It'd be fine. But we don't have a ship in Salt Marsh now, so that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But he grew a beard. Anyway, we'll cut back to those of you going upstairs into the tavern.
Tavern crew.
Yeah. Oh God, why do I keep splitting the party in these sessions lately?
Because you like yourself.
I did.
Are
Good.
you splitting the party or are we splitting the party?
I
feel
mean,
like
I
it's us
gave us
splitting the party.
The spooky town with things to do.
Captain,
Yeah.
let's split up.
Right. So it's the two of you. Wow, these cookies are really good. Actually, I'm sorry.
Rub it the fuck in.
So yeah, the two of you slowly creep your way upstairs to the top of the tavern, and it's a kind of like a balcony up top with like several doors placed on the various places that lead to the inn rooms, for lack of a better term, because that's what they are. They are inn rooms.
Do I have to like individually check them all, or can I just roll an investigation to see?
I mean,
May I assist?
you know what?
Yes, please.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do instead of letting assist. Both of you roll me an investigation. Just because you're both looking for... I'm assuming you're both looking for different things. Well...
We're both looking in different rooms, I guess, to make it take less time.
Yeah.
17?
Found the door.
To pay for my 2 natural 20s.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Varys, you're kind of going through the room, and I will say, like, even with a literal doo-doo roll, you open the room, and the dust literally just stirs as you swing the door open.
Literal doo-doo.
Yeah, like you literally, at the door opens, and just a bunch of dust kicks up in
Doo-doo
this
dust.
room.
Excuse me.
Tyrion, same thing actually. Like you open the door, and just dust goes flying everywhere, and it's like you kind of take a second to look around, and like this room looks like it hasn't been touched in years.
Great. There aren't any chests or anything around, are there? Lockers, cabinets,
there is a chest
wardrobes.
at the foot of the bed.
Okay, so we're checking separate rooms, and I'm going to do this because I want to. Since I have the axe already in my hand, I'm going to take a two-handed swipe. Perfect his face, like, oh god, here it comes. Like I'm chopping wood onto the the chest.
So you're using the adamantine axe.
Yep. Family axe.
Which is an auto crit.
Yes.
Does it do double damage? Like I'm thinking, I remember adamantine doing something else. Hold on. Un momento, as I double check what adamantine weapons do, because it's been a bit since it came up. Thank you.
Welcome.
It's a critical. Okay, so it's just a critical hit. Go ahead and roll me your two-handed axe damage and add a max die to it, like our crit rule.
Okay, so two-handed axe damage is a 1d10 plus a tree.
Okay.
One whole tree is added to this.
It's 1d10 plus 13. Then.
No, yeah. 1d10 plus 13.
That's a 12. There it is. 19 total.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, you Kratos the axe open, or you Kratos the chest open.
Boy.
Not my axe. Grandma's gonna kill me.
No, but like you kind of like choke up on the axe because you're in a room with tight quarters, and basically just punch through the top of this thing with the axe, and the top just splinters.
All right.
Well, let's see if there's anything of interest in your chest now.
You know, there is a member of the party who is pretty good at investigating and can also open things without destroying them utterly.
There's
They're
also
not there.
Where's the fun in that?
Why
They're
do
not
we
there.
keep doing this in our games? We keep having the person who is shitty at doing the thing go do the thing.
Of course.
Let's go rip some doors off.
Look, it might have been open for all the hell Tyrion knows.
sent both muscle
Didn't even
guys
check
to
it,
go
just-
investigate the tavern.
Yeah, I didn't even check it. I just saw it and went, yeah.
For the record, we sent both muscle people to gather supplies that then got bored and went and investigated things.
Yep.
That's true.
I have a good perception. I'm just saying. Not
Maybe
a good investigation.
Well, too bad you're doing more investigative work than
I know. This is definitely investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And you all right, you find in that chest 4 gold.
Okay.
And that's it.
Wow.
Now I have
Big money.
444 gold.
Yeah.
Did that make? I'm assuming it made a loud sound. Is there any sudden shits and weapons drawn and shit?
You're in your room looking around. You just suddenly hear a loud crack.
I run out in the hallway.
All right, Tyrion. There's a very loud shuffling outside of your room immediately after that.
Don't stab me. It's just me. I'm breaking shit.
Whoop, poke my head in the door.
Yeah.
Little wave.
Well, just one of those days.
Scared the crap out of me, friend.
It is normally something that is done with Brian or Ryba, but neither are here, so I thought I would hack a whack.
She's like, oh.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm awake now.
Or wait, does she have toes or hooves? I don't remember what type of
Here-
tiefling.
Hooves. She does
Here-
have hooves. Yeah.
Keep you on your tippy
Tyrion went to
taps.
the bedroom to have a whack.
Oh no! I walked into that. No.
Mhm.
Next room.
Funny.
Walk past her grinning.
All right. You know what? Both of you give me another investigation
Walking
check.
faster.
If
I
you're,
gotta
if
roll
you-
well eventually, right? Like that's
I
how
mean,
that works.
you know.
Nope.
14.
Okay.
I had to
There
say
it is.
something.
There's you go to open your door and your door's locked. So
All right.
yeah.
I give up immediately.
Yeah. Tyrion, you kind of take a look around in this room. Same amount of dust kicks up as you go through, but other than that, it's relatively on nothing of interest or value.
Do you need help with your
Chippity
door?
hoppy. This door needs chippity choppity.
Do you need help with your door? And I wave the axe just a little bit, like a little wiggle.
When offered assistance, I will consider it, and then attempt to push the door, like break the door down by myself.
Give me a strength check.
Chippity choppity. We're
Athletic?
destroying
Well,
our own
Okay,
property.
are you shouldering the door or attacking it with a weapon?
I'm like shouldering the door, trying to like ram it down.
All right, I'll see. I'll allow athletics.
If you hurt yourself, you can use Hellish Rebuke on the door.
See? Burn the tavern down. That'll be really helpful to everybody.
Fuck you, door!
No.
They said they were checking the tavern, right? Eric and,
Burning
like,
inferno, yeah.
yeah, Brian look over and the tavern's just fucking in smoke.
Tavern's
and
been glassed. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's a 16 athletics check.
Yeah,
Yeah, give him one job.
you kind of get a feel for the door, and you just shoulder tackle it, and well, the door frame itself is actually not in the greatest of shape.
Ah.
So, like, you hear the splintering of wood, and it like kicks open about 2 inches, but it is still technically closed. And about this time, I think, would be when the other two show up in the tavern.
Alright, so,
Yeah,
since there arose such a clatter, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my weapon and
yeah.
head up
Yeah,
the
that's fair.
stairs.
That definitely sounds like we're fighting people up here.
Yeah. So, and the two of you up at the top and start suddenly hear movement on the stairs behind you.
Okay, that's good.
Spin around.
That's
spin
very
far
good.
out,
I
yeah.
thought he was gonna come up at the top of the stairs with me, like halfway through a swing, and go, "Oh shit!" Like when your grandma
I
finds
mean,
you
if
doing
Captain
shit you're
has
not
his
supposed
sword
to.
out. Captain has his sword out and he's expecting combat. I guess I'm gonna do the same.
All right. So at this point, unbeknownst to each other, the groups are converging at the top of the stairs, and you guys hear movement getting closer with each step. What do you do?
I hold my turn at a. I'm going to charge forward and slash whatever the fuck is coming up them stairs. If it's something bad, which is
Yeah.
if I roll low, I'm gonna tackle the captain.
Tyrion
Yeah,
and
I'm-
Varys both like back against the wall at the top of the stairs, like ready to stab whoever comes up.
All right. What are the other two are you doing? You just coming up the stairs and rounding the corner, or
Yeah, like as I'm approaching the top of the stairs, I'm trying to listen for more sounds of scuffling. If it's quiet, I'm going to try to like not make as much sound because Yeah, like if the loudness continues while I'm running, I'm going to keep running. But if it gets silent and I
Yeah.
notice it, I'm gonna start creeping.
All right.
Is it dusty in here?
Not in the main room, no.
Oh, okay.
But
I want to give Ryan a new trait.
A flump fart?
Wild magic sneezes.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's fair.
Merrick, you immediately go around the stairs, and as you you press your foot on the top or the first stair, you hear a quick movement, and then the top of the stair seems to fall quiet. Just because I want to see what happens, Varys and Tyrion give me stealth checks. It's not going to matter against
I'm
Merrick.
at disadvantage as well.
Yeah, just I want to see what you guys roll.
Stealth and
Does
dex,
this
right?
automatically roll at disadvantage?
I don't
Yeah,
know
it
what.
does.
No,
That's not bad, actually.
I mean, you're not being. You're not.
I'm being quiet because I'm captain. He's being quiet.
Oh, okay, well,
So, there you go. 18.
all right.
Since we're not moving, am I still at benefit?
Just being in heavy armor gives you disadvantage.
You have
Yes, I
full
know.
plate armor.
Yeah.
Your breathing makes noise and that stuff.
Breathe in, clinkle, 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 clink.
That's actually how it works, though.
Yeah, that I'm very well aware of. You said sneak?
Stealth.
Stealth. Well, one was a 19 and the other is a 3.
Okay. Yeah.
You did about as well as Brian did.
As I said, doesn't matter because Merrick hears it all anyway.
I got an 18.
But I feel
There is
Were you with advantage?
Tyrion.
The first one's what counts.
Captain?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
And there's a loud thunk as I just kind of drop the head of the axe into the top of the stairs. Captain.
You all right up here? I heard some smashing.
We're just-
Yeah.
Why
we're
are you
just-
looking like you're going to ambush? Fair enough. You didn't know what the running sound was. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we left it empty downstairs, and then there was suddenly running, and I was about to gut check you down the stairs. We were trying to get the door open. You're probably better at it. Could you get the
We've
door
been doing
open?
some creative problem solving, Captain.
Right.
As you kind of come to the top of the stairs, you can kind of see in the one room where there's just the top of a chest just shattered open.
Okay. All right. I see that you've
Here's
done
Johnny.
some fine investigative work so far. Good job, crew. So here's the thing. I was able to. We were able to make contact with Wizbolt, or with Jebediah, more appropriately, since it's his shop. Yes. We hear banjo. We paddle faster. What we. So good news is, he will be able to repair the ship.
Excellent news.
Bad news is a couple of pieces of bad news. One piece of bad news is it'll cost a lot of money. We have the money. It's fine. Still bad news that we're having to pay as much. The other somewhat bad news is it'll take about 4 days of repairs. 4 or 5 days is what he said. And, Varys, you may not have, interacted with these people before, but they're magical. They do magical repairs. They have magical portals into their one shop. It's a very weird thing. But the repair process, in order to get the boat into their shop, since this isn't really a physical location, is they shrink the entire ship into a bottle.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. About the
That's
same reaction
impressive.
I had. It is very impressive. The bad part about that in our current situation is that's also our sleeping quarters. Won't have our sleeping quarters.
looks at the
And that's
shattered-
why we're here at the tavern. So let's maybe try to keep things intact. The sleeping
Understood.
quarters.
Good news is I can probably fix the door.
Right, there's no ship to fix, because that's going to be taken care of, so door jam could be maybe replaced, or maybe, we just don't have someone use this room. There's not a lot of crew. They're used to bunking up in smaller quarters.
We also have any number of buildings around town to scavenge from.
Exactly. There's probably beds somewhere. We probably want to stick to houses that are off the main thoroughfare, since they seem to have actually been touched lately. At least the exterior, probably not the interior, honestly. It's probably going to be a shit show everywhere. However, so that's all the things that have kind of gone on with what Brian and I have done. Another idea that came to mind, maybe not a right now idea, but if we were going to be more entrepreneurial going forward, this is an abandoned town.
We could.
No one has any claim here.
We could.
We could.
Easy.
It's also
sort of money.
nearby to, Elena and your home village, so conveniently located if you ever wanted to visit that crotchety old uncle that you have.
Why? One, how dare you, Perfectus? I was literally just thinking that. Two, great. Yeah, I can visit Uncle Carl. Yeah.
Greg.
Greg.
That's the one.
Look, his name is Carl Greg.
There
he
are a
likes
lot
to go
more
by
than
Greg.
one bad uncle.
You're like, oh, you meant the really bad one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, the one,
Carl
the
just
one who
kills
gave
people.
everyone shit.
And then
Anyway,
I go, to go and masturbate. So what?
You could make this a retirement village and send them here.
No. Brian, you aren't even here. Go away, Brian. Wait, did Brian come? Yeah, Brian came.
Yeah.
Yes,
Brian's
I'm
with
there.
Mary.
No, Brian, this is bad idea.
Alright, so
But then they
anyway,
wouldn't be in your village.
let's make sure we have enough space here in the tavern for at least the rest of the crew. We can find some other house that we can fix up for ourselves, cobble together whatever.
Tavern.
But yeah, we can stick around here until our ship is repaired.
I will say one thing of note. There are 4 doors up on this top part. You guys have been in 3 of them, as Vera's got the first one to open the fourth one to open like 2 inches, but it is still not open.
We weren't able to fully see inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is still that.
Which I
So
will point out.
have you? Okay, all right. That's what I was gonna get into the character
Yeah.
thing. So have you done everything? Oh no, got the
Yeah,
door.
there's
Okay,
still
all right, well,
one more to look at here at the end of the hall.
All right. Let me see if I can get it open.
You
I
kind of
step back and I'm like, I think I already got it started for you. Yeah, like
yeah. You
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
privacy is a little bit, and
you go over and look at the lock, and the lock is just screwed at this
Sorry.
point. So
It's got that 2-inch
Okay,
bathroom gap
like,
in the doors that
the
kids have to look
bolt
through.
in it is like at a 120-degree angle to the mechanism. So like
No.
yep. No, I think this one is outside of my realm of expertise at this point. So either one of you want to finish the job, feel free.
Look at
We'll
Tyrion.
just like hang a curtain, canvas or something over it. It's fine.
Virus, do you want to fuck? There's that cold again. Dust goes flying everywhere. Virus, do you want to try and throw out your shoulder again?
I feel kind of bad about it now, but yeah, I will.
Okay.
give me another athletics check.
Sure. Dun, dun, dun. Worse. It's a 10.
It is worse,
Oh.
although you did already damage it a decent chunk.
It is true.
So you kind of you got a good feeling about this one. So you kind of take as much of a step back as you can, take as much of a running start as you can. You hit it full force. It swings open, no problem. But you can't stop in time, so you just end up in the room, hitting the back wall. And as you hit the wall and land on the ground prone, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouchie. All right. Enough to kill a common man. I understand. All right.
However, while you're on the floor, you notice this room isn't dusty.
I run in, a horn stuck in the wall, like, "Ah," and then like fall, like, oh god, look over, I'm like,
Doors
what
down.
the hell?
Yeah. Like this
It's
room
clean
is
in here.
as you kind of stand up and look around this room, there is no bed in this room. Instead, in the corner there was a writing desk.
Is there a raven nearby?
Wrong game.
How are those alike?
There's a little writing desk with like various bits of parchment and paper.
I'll mention to
there's-
the group, like,
There's a little wax burner there for like
I
making
found
wax
something.
seals.
Oh. It's,
for someone
okay.
slightly more investigative to take a look at.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take a look.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Oh, you finally won! I'm gonna just kind of keep a lookout down the stairs in case anyone else decides to walk in randomly.
Okay. You spend a couple minutes looking over the desk, and there's some letterhead here. It's like the paper on this desk is proper letterhead. It is an insignia that I think only Vera's would recognize because you only saw it for a moment. But it's like this single gem that seems to be being held aloft by a tentacle of some sort.
Tentacle.
And would I recognize it from my dealings with the trade company when I was picking up that?
You would recognize it specifically from the letter you found in Town Hall before you went into the cult catacombs. That
Hey there,
mentioned
Mad
something
Dog
along
and
the
buddy.
lines of
Thank you
we'll
very
get
much for the
someone
follow.
to
I
ship
hope you
our
enjoy your time here.
this
We play
crystal
D&D
that's so
every
important
Tuesday.
to where it needs to go.
Truth.
We're gonna give you a
So
I think we found where the
big
crystal
old
was.
cheer for the follow because we appreciate it here.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
More of a statement.
Okay. I'm like, okay.
Right. Oh, that's really ominous insignia.
It's very nice paper though.
Sometimes that's what matters.
I come up and hand
And stationary.
the note that I found downstairs to the captain. Does any writing or any of this look familiar? This is what we found downstairs.
It is the same letterhead on the two. Or if it's the note that I mentioned a moment ago, it is the
Yes.
same letterhead.
Okay. We found where this note was written. Sure. Are there any names printed on the paper?
Not if you can't read Abyssal.
Can't read Abyssal.
You can
Brian,
totally
read Abyssal.
Have-
No, Brian does not read Abyssal, no. Maybe try Edward, he might, at this point.
That's a
It'd be worth a try.
I'd forgotten all about that poor guy. Oh no.
So
We-
did life there
we have
for
our
a
own-
minute.
We have our own 28 days later in the crew. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
0.
Y'all are...
I don't like the sound of that.
you know what? Just
Everything's gonna be all white.
I'm curious, just because I want to see what happens.
Everyone.
Everyone, give me an investigation check, just kind of quickly.
As we like
Alrighty
toss the
then.
room, or
I mean,
That's better.
9.
that's a toss the room roll. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot. I had a +5 on that, or +5 on that persuasion check with Jeb earlier. But oh well, I'm not used to this sheet.
Yeah.
19.
Okay, so you rolled a 15 to convince him to buy a ghost.
Still
hat.
pretty good.
It's a ghost. All right. So that's a 19. That's a 22. You both rolled 9. Yeah. So Brian and Veriz are just very confused for a moment, and like, what's going on here? Tyrion, you work mostly in stone as a dwarf, but with your ship expertise, you're used to working in wood. And you notice the grain doesn't match up on the desk in a place where it should. Merrick, as you're kind of looking at the letterhead and flipping through, you also notice that misalign of the grain.
You noticed that too?
Mm-hmm. You know, being
I
a bot
will,
does that.
I will attempt to wiggle on the.
All right. Go ahead and are you
Actually, before, I would like to make sure there is no kind of trap-like mechanism that is behind this hidden panel.
I will give you with the investigation check you already rolled. There is not a trap that you can discern.
Checking for traps.
Okay, cool.
There's no trap.
And go
Yeah, 'cause
ahead.
These guys were motherfuckers.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a thieves' tools check.
Okay, that's just
That would be dexterity with
dex-
proficiency, I believe, for you.
okay.
Unless
so I
you
can
took
roll my.
expertise in thieves' tools.
I did not.
Okay, Dexterity with
so-
rough.
All right, then I'm gonna roll sleight of hand because it is a proficient skill and it's dex based.
All right. You take one of your flatter lockpicks and just kind of wedge it in this barely visible gap there, and just kind of run across the top until you feel a little bit of pressure, and then you kind of just use the hook end of your lockpick to kind of feel it get a catch on something and pull it towards you. And as you do that, you notice the wax well on the desk drops 1/8 of an inch, and the little wood grain misaligned opens up into a what looks to be a letter storage, and all of it written on the same letterhead, multiple different sources of handwriting, and some of these actually do have dates in common going back 15 years.
Oh wow. All right. Seems like this has been a base of operations for this group for some time.
You also will notice on some of the earlier ones, they are written in common and just have more abyssal sprinkled in, as opposed to being fully written in abyssal. Because,
They were learning the language.
Yeah,
They started out with the "Where's the bathroom?"
to paraphrase years of letters, one person. It's a one-sided conversation because you're only getting one, the recipients of these, you assume.
Okay.
And it's what it is it's a paraphrase of, this town might be interesting. It's got a good location, and it has that weird boat shop that could be used as a magic source. We can get it to ourselves. We stand a chance, but we need to stay unknown for now.
Were they sucking the magic out of the boat shop to power the anti-magic thingy? Or something?
Arcana check.
The next letter
Yeah.
after that kind of goes into detail of, yeah, you were right, this town, or, no, sorry, that's the letter that would go the other way. The next one you get back is, you should trust my judgments, as I know a budding town when I see one, and know that we could snuff this out with no one being the wiser. And
Ooh.
and the only other letter you can read before it gets too much abyssal essentially says, we'll set up a sanctum there. We'll make it work. Time will be our friend for this. That is the last one you can fully read without knowing abyssal.
Oh, okay. So this was the long game that this cult was playing. They had been staking out this town for quite some time, took out the residents as part of their plan some time ago. Since some of the older letters used less abyssal, were there any names in communication that were not in abyssal?
All
or
of
in
the
common?
names were in abyssal at all times.
Okay.
It seems like whoever was teaching these guys abyssal started with names. Almost as if there was an extra layer of anonymity, which I don't know why you'd
Good.
want that in a cult.
Good. Yeah.
So-
No.
Was there any
Sure,
dates or
sure.
anything on it?
Yeah, they're the dates also slowly transition into what you assume is abyssal, but the oldest one is about 15 years ago.
Ooh. Ooh. It's not a short 5-year con. This is big boy con.
Right, the long game. They were staking this place out probably for the first decade or so before they made their move to take over.
Bubbles, blood, Kool-Aid.
I okay. So since we're going to be here for a while, we should probably take more time investigating that sanctum area to see if we can figure out exactly what they were trying to do with the magic. Because I feel like, based on the context of these letters, at least the parts that were written in a language I understand, it seems like they weren't really looking for the shop, but they recognized the shop as a magic source. And it doesn't seem like it being anti-magic was the goal. It seems like the goal was to do something else, and this just happened to be a readily available, constant source of magical energy in a town that nobody would miss. So I think we should take another look, since we're not running for our lives and we have a few days to see what's going on down there.
Alright.
And quite honestly,
did I overhear that there was a teleportation circle?
Would that have been something that
Pretty
was
sure someone
mentioned?
mentioned it.
Yeah, that would have been something that was mentioned in front of Brian, right?
I don't think we had time.
Vera's mentioned it when they were like, well, what happened to the town? They didn't just shuttle everyone to that, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we sure that's not a two-way thing? Like they could come back?
Well, that's the other thing that we need to investigate down there. And that was another thought that I had in my mind as mulling this over as a potential base of operations. We want to make sure that they can't return. Because I don't know a whole lot about how that level of magic works. That's a bit above my pay grade, but I'm thinking you kind of have to know what all those symbols on the circle look like in order to make use of it. We might be able to just, I don't know, chip away at some of the symbols, and then that makes it not work anymore.
That is true.
I don't know.
No idea.
When we went, this is Hobble asking, when we went to go down to the cult place, where everybody knew Ryba's name,
everybody knows your name.
Was there for lack of a better thing I can think of, was there like a tavern on top? I don't remember. Was there like a building and then it was just there? Was there just a whole...
It was town hall.
That was below town hall, the entrance.
So, Captain, we could... If we do not want to do it tonight, I suggest we sleep in the town hall, just, bean bags? Nope. Sleeping bags, just... spread out around, we have someone do patrol, and then if... I don't want that type of teabag, Captain. And then if they come up, we can, do something about it right then. If we would like to rather get some sleep first, before we do this. But it's the middle of the day, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You've done a lot today.
Okay, so... If we do not want to do it this afternoon, or tonight, we could do it tomorrow in the morning, but I suggest we sleep in our sleeping bags somewhere.
Well, if we're lucky, probably a lot of water damage down there, honestly, but if there's not, and we're lucky, then there might be beds down there, too, that have actually been used recently, that could be used again by us, and would also accomplish the same thing.
Sure, as long as them are not covered in any weird black muck that probably came from Mr. Bubbles. I like this idea better.
I'm being optimistic. They're probably covered in brackish liquid, but hey, it's worth checking out since we're going to investigate anyway.
It is true.
And before I say this steak, if I used my Enderman axe to put scratch marks in the floor, would that work, or is it too big of an inanimate object to do damage of any kind?
Define scratch marks in the floor.
Like,
what
A
is your
normal axe could do that.
what is your end goal? Is my question here.
like if I hit it because of the crit, would it look like normal scratch, like a normal axe, or would it look like the Hulk just hit and it would just basically obliterate the like
If
that
you're
immediate thing?
If you're intentionally being gentle with it, it's not going to do extra damage. I'll say that. Like, if you want to go out of your way to only make a small, barely visible scratch with your adamantine axe, you can take the time to do that.
Okay,
Like
if
those
I went,
hammers
like-
they use for safety glass. It just
Yeah.
makes slight contact and it just shatters into 1,000 pieces.
so if I did it gently, I could make scratch, but if I went like full down swing like I did on the chest, I could make like Hulk fist go here, and then the
It would look like you're splitting wood, but instead of wood, it'd be brick.
okay. So Captain, I can help with this. I can either be gentle and kind and put little scratches, so it might take them a little longer to notice why the hell it's fucked up if they take the long way back, or I can just put weird axe-shaped dent in it.
Like switching the N and M keys on somebody's keyboard.
Oh no. No. No.
Honestly, since none of us are really 100% sure how these things work, it's probably better to do more damage as opposed to less damage. I feel like we'd have a better chance of disrupting it if there's a large piece missing, as opposed to, a small piece missing. And whoever comes by here again is going to know that someone else was here because that giant fucking crystal blew up.
This is a valid point.
And a lot of people are dead.
Right.
And no clue where their bodies look like or are at this point, considering
Well, they're in the
Mr.
chest.
Bubbles.
Like,
I meant the other ones. The
oh yeah, the other people we killed that were in the last room.
Yeah.
They just rode the tide. They're probably all in that bottom room. Just kind of
They just all
shoved
floated
under one
towards
of
the stairs.
shoved
Ugh.
under one of the wine casks or under one of the stairs.
one of them probably looks bloated as fuck. Oh, one of them
Waterlogged,
probably looks like the
bloated
tar
bodies.
zombie from
Blub blub.
what the hell's that movie? The tar zombie
Blub
from
blub blub blub.
Oh, what movie is the tar zombie in?
I don't remember. I just remember the teenagers go downstairs like, we're not afraid of the tar zombie, and and then it ends up eating all the
Is it
stupid ass
Goonies?
kids.
His kids?
No, it's not Goonies.
I'm like trying to think of like where kids go like encounter a creature. I'm like,
I mean, it
Sloth loves
eats the
tar.
teenagers. Tar
I
zombie.
hate it.
I love the game.
Tar man.
Steak,
Living
I
Dead.
sent you a message. By the way.
Yeah, I'm responding to it.
It's
Okay,
from
okay.
Living Dead. The Tar Man is from Living Dead.
Ah, there you go.
Cool.
Look like the fucking Tar Man back there, just.
Right. Well, so I say, all right, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We do need to finish making sure the tavern has enough space for our crew that is in livable conditions. I mean, they've slept in some pretty shitty places. And then we need to let Jebediah know that he can take the ship, and then we can do some further investigation. But I don't want to make him wait any longer than we need to.
Exactly.
I will say you kind of like glance into the rooms. Each of these probably sleep too.
Perfect.
Yeah, and also you have the entire downstairs.
Yep.
So like,
I want the tables out of the way. Even barricade the door if we wanted to.
so
All right.
yeah, it wouldn't be the most luxurious thing at this point, but you could make do.
It's still
Neither is the ship, to
probably.
be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still probably just as good as the ship.
No, yeah. Maybe they'll have them grab their hammocks before you. Have them grab the strung up hammocks before you leave.
Better than being shrunk down to
just
the size of an ant and stuck in a glass bottle. So
I don't
Which
know,
is
man. Some
skeleton.
ants live pretty well.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, maybe they can
Oh.
shrink the crew, and then we can just keep them in a bottle here. That would be
A
exceptional.
Jebediah,
Let's not do that.
how many days worth of oxygen would you say is in the bottle?
Are you? Are you all?
Now
Are
you're
you?
thinking
I'm
with
not-
bottles.
no,
We're-
Yeah.
Dude, the
not-
people shrink with this shit.
No.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Just horrifically crushed. The ship shrinks down to size, but the people on board do not.
Hmm?
I feel like that's
There's a
just shatter the
euphoria for
bottle.
people.
Anyway, so yeah, what are you guys doing now? Are we
Um,
going back to Jebediah? Are we going to the town hall?
Before we like scramble back to the full crew, well, it's just like the group of kind of like people Varys it feels like are like upper management on the ship, like people involved in
Merrick-
decision making.
Merrick and
Um,
Tyrion, because
Yep.
because
Yeah.
Brian can stand here too. It's fine. She would.
Brian, earmuffs.
Do I still have that letter stake or no?
it would have been your cargo manifest. So where would you have kept that on your old ship?
It's probably in the ship. Like it's
Well,
probably
then
at
no,
the bottom of the ocean.
You
All right.
don't have that letter.
Okay.
Uh,
So I would
in-
mention
in
I would-
theory, there's a copy of it somewhere, but you
in
know.
theory. I would mention to say that like when my crew rewind. When my crew came into town the first time, when there were people here, we accepted cargo from the ship shop.
Not from the ship shop, actually.
Or
I misspoke.
Okay.
The ship shop you just know as a place. The cargo was from some cargo transport company elsewhere in town. That
okay.
name doesn't matter.
We accepted cargo from somewhere in town.
Very hot
So
postal service.
if we assume that at the time that my crew was here, if all the people in town were cultists pretending to be townspeople, right? Or if it was magic, fake town people, whatever, what would they have been moving? Like, what would my cargo have been? If they were moving,
This is
I
a que-
remember the letter
is-
saying something about something fragile and something important.
Is that a question at me or the other players?
Well, that is a statement of
Oh,
like
okay.
I
That
didn't. We worked with a certain amount of discretion. My crew. We
Oh.
weren't gonna like break open these
Oh.
crates and investigate everything, right? Like
Last time we did that, we got cows.
we were given things and told take them here, and that's what we did.
You work at the cows last time.
Right.
If they boxed on the cows, we take them. I mean, I
No.
don't care. But like,
That's a story for when we're done for the night.
You would love more
all
cows,
that I'm
wouldn't you,
saying
Brian?
is that if we're looking for more information about what the cult was doing,
Maybe
and the possibility of recovering whatever this gem is, if it's something that they would have wanted to get out of here. I know where we were headed, but I don't know if that was ever the goal. And if it
for
was the goal,
fuck's sake.
all of that
Oh,
shit is currently
no.
at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh,
And
no.
we can't go down there.
But somebody can.
Well, I think I know where Ryba's going. Shit.
Oh
So-
no.
Oh, no.
It's ironic. He's going to the moral high ground, is where he's going.
Ryba, I never thought I would hear that in a sentence.
Nope, not even in the same paragraph, actually. This is wild day. Wild day.
Oh, this has turned out well.
Oh, no.
Steak
He's
didn't even
just-
come up with that name.
I didn't.
Ryba's-
That was
when this was being, exposited, my first image in my head was The Weekend at Bernie's 2, where he's just walking along the seafloor with a harpoon through his skull, and that's Ryba right now. Because he's got the headphones on, so he can hear the music and keep walking.
Exactly.
Mr. Bubbles
So-
is just, putting sweet
I don't
nothings in
know-
his ear.
I don't know if our crew was set up, if we were ever supposed to make it where we were supposed to be going. I can't remember the name of this town off the top of my head. I can remember if I
Steambrod.
have a moment. Yeah. I don't
bras
exactly
and the
recall
beans.
because we were
Steamed
headed
brats.
south.
Bratwurst.
We were trying to cut through the channel.
I might be slightly hungry.
Right.
but we definitely never made it there. I don't know if expecting that the cult would be consorting with skeleton ships would be a bit too far to go. But
No,
Mm-mm.
no. They didn't seem to be. Yep. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm just not sure.
Yeah, they didn't seem to be the type that was spooky, scary skeleton. They seemed to be more sea god drown the earth kind of thing. So
I hate all of you.
All of us dirty critters.
Yeah, no, I think that was just a bad coincidence for them. They probably legitimately wanted you to carry the cargo to your destination. Where was the destination?
Let me reference my mental notes.
Yes, the notes of the town. I don't think we ever came up with a name for between the two of us. So
I
this
have
is
my
one-
raccoon notes. Wait.
Was it the Gary Oldman
Farther
Islands?
It was
It
not the
definitely
Gary
was not.
Oldman
It was
Islands.
south.
Was it perhaps Cyan Dot?
It was not Cyan Dot.
How about Very
that's,
Tiny?
That's where Elena is.
It was not
That's
very. Listen, for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm bad with names, and my players don't know this. So when they come up with one, I'm like, I can't come up with anything better, so it sticks.
We were given cargo.
So
And
they're
also
going from
told that
steam
there
bras
was
to spleen panties.
there was some enemies that we could possibly clear in the Devil's Channel, which we were unable to clear.
Hot.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
The Devil's Chest.
We were heading south. That's all that I have.
Steam bras, the devil's chest. That's the name of the town and its town motto.
I'll update the map.
Oh, God.
Heading towards Ganod is what I have here.
Ganon.
Ganode. Ganod.
Ganode. Ganod?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember where you were going. Okay, hi. Sorry.
That green line is that red circle is where I died.
No.
My ship died in that.
The red circle is there. If you were going to Ganode is over here.
Ah, yes. So we were
It
trying
is by
to
Very
do
Tiny.
We were trying to do a cut
it is
through
by
these.
Very Tiny.
We were trying to do a cut through these in this direction.
Yeah.
And then head yonder.
Yeah. Because
I gotta reassociate.
the time frame you were given made the normal trade routes take too long, so you tried to save some time by cutting through that.
Because normally you have to go
Right,
all the way
okay.
around, either up past Cyan Dot or through like this channel here.
Yeah.
And we were like, if we cut like a couple days off and go here, that would be real nice.
Yeah, which is exactly what you were trying to do.
And we were warned that there were enemies in the area, and we were like, their ship's got some weapons on it, we'll be fine. And then we were not fine.
We were not fine.
We were not fine.
Also, friendly reminder, Merrick, Very Tiny is supposedly where you.
I know.
Okay.
My Minotaur buddy, not Minotaur.
Was
Wait,
it Very Tiny we were headed to, or just Ganon, like the island in general?
He was a Minotaur, wasn't he?
He was a tiefling.
Tiefling. Okay.
Yeah.
Not all tiefling
Yeah, very
minotaurs look
close.
alike.
Idiot.
Anybody I would know?
No.
Do you know all tieflings?
I'm not from Very Tiny. I'm not from Ganon.
You're-
It's like
Here, I give you another name.
Also small.
also small.
Very tiny island, and then also small off Ganode.
But
Ganu.
So. Anyway, so you guys have been having this conversation in the tavern, like just in front of this letter desk for like 45 minutes at this point.
Just
Like
like,
that's a
real
significant say, like in miles. Like if you look at like going all the way past Cyan Dot, like how much
Yeah.
difference that would be.
Yeah.
a lot of miles.
I mean, I don't know why I'd go all the way out there, but you know.
It was just
That's at least 2 days.
It's just where the established trade routes are. So,
That's fair.
you're like, screw
Yeah,
this.
the little light blue lines are the trade routes. So
So, like, if you were to
Oh.
follow the actual trade route, it would be like here to here.
What is that, like a week or two's journey or more?
The full trip, probably every bit of 2.5 weeks.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
You either get 2096 or 2008, and 2008 was definitely a better year than the last ones.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
if you were to actually try to save some time,
That's not hard though. I mean,
yeah, that saves you
When
200
you
miles.
cut every corner.
Yeah. Like, that
if
saves
we
you...
drift around every corner,
Uh-huh.
It saves you about 200 miles, though, which on some of the larger ships is a decent chunk.
Yeah.
Tyrion's making the trip with the
Yeah.
power of family.
Yeah.
Nothing can
Given
stop him.
your other ship could move, I think it was like we established 80 miles a day, so it's like 2.5 days saved.
if we
Yeah.
had an airship.
You don't. But yeah, anyway, so
Hey Jebediah, do you have ships in the air?
I do, but they
That's
cost more.
preposterous.
They cost more than what you have.
That would make sense.
This is a stick up.
Okay.
Oh,
I
No.
Don't think we should do that
Kidding.
to the person with the magic door.
That's not in
Oh,
In our
character.
boat in a
Okay.
jar.
That seems like that takes a lot of power to do. We probably don't want to
Also,
fuck with
even
benevolent people. That
even if you were to go into his store and rob him, he's the one that lets you out of the store.
yeah.
He has
Yeah, I
to
know.
open the door to let you out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We opened the door and it's just a brick wall. Like, well, we tried.
Guess we live here now.
We got an already franchise, everybody.
Anywho, so yeah, so just to clarify from my end as a DM, the plan is send the boat off for repairs, stay in town a couple of days to look into things more. Once you get the boat back, see what happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck up the magic.
Is someone going to get supplies for you guys before, like, offered, or?
Don't have a lot of food.
Bring back
The
snacks.
kitchen only had enough food to feed like my crew when we were in town last time. I think that they were expecting us and wanted to keep up appearances and literally stocked like to the egg the right amount of food for us to eat.
Okay. So, we had a decent amount of supplies on the ship. We do know.
You can take the supplies off the ship if you really want to.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of. We just have everybody, load up a batch of supplies on their way off the ship and carry it with them here to the tavern. We can use this as a base of operations for the crew for now, and wait for the repairs. We can always stock up somewhere else once we're done. Actually, I don't know if the offer is still on the table, but we can talk to... Well, no, never mind. Jebediah was going to offer to have us stay in Salt Marsh while the repairs were being done, as courtesy given the shape of the town that we're in. He doesn't normally like to use his shop for transport. However, I'll ask, but he probably won't be amenable to the idea of letting us teleport after fixing the ship, because that wasn't the reason why the offer was made in the first place. Worth an ask, though, because that would help us restock our supplies. We'll talk to him about it from that angle. It'd be easier for us to resupply after we're going through some of our rations here, staying on, in a deserted shop if the offer was still on the table. So, wait, no. Again, I'm kind of curious as if Ryba's just going to come up out of the sea at some point, so I want to be here to see that.
Yeah.
Wearing my ship's wheel as a necklace, yeah.
Possibly. I mean, best case scenario is the crazy fucker has the fish take him to where the thing is on the seabed, and then walk back here.
It's true. That would be a good situation. And
That
then he
would be
wakes up.
great.
Hopefully the ship didn't have it. Hopefully this is some crazy conspiracy theory and the ship didn't have it.
No, I think everything's coming up cracking right now. Unfortunately, like all signs point to angry sea beast getting what it wants, and I think what it wants is that gem, bottom of the sea.
Why even bother to bring it up?
But
I mean, if it's already at the bottom of the sea, just be like, here we go, and big fissure opens up, and it's just like, Rah!
Maybe that's like 1 out of X gems, and we're the most expedient way to get his vessel across the sea to get to the other things.
That makes sense. Okay.
Because great that you could breathe underwater forever. That's fan-fucking-tastic, very handy. But I imagine walking on the seafloor is slower than sailing.
I would hope so.
Especially since Ryba
So
might
we
be
could
like,
probably-
fish!
You know what's probably going to happen? We're probably going to get the ship repaired, have just enough time to make it to that area where Ryba would have had enough time with Mr. Bubbles to walk himself there. We'll get there right at the same time. Because he's getting like a 4-day head start on us walking.
Tyrion,
Aye.
that piece of paper that you found underneath the bar mentioned the gem as well.
Yes, this is true. Captain now currently has it.
Yep.
Right? What,
I'm just curious
up?
if we can connect that there are multiple, or like that they would need it here specifically for some reason. Why was it in this town? Like, what was so important about this town, right? Because the letter mentions like the town has a good location, but like, what does that mean?
This is just my hypothesis,
Mhm.
but it seemed like this gem was the focal point of the magical energy that was being harnessed. Like, this might have been what they were powering up. And maybe they got it to a point after, 15 years or 10 years or however the exact amount is,
Mhm.
that they could finally send this to the main headquarters. Like,
Gotcha.
ready to go,
Harvested.
summon the demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because if this was the only... Yeah. Like, I mean, I imagine keeping that door operational takes a lot of magical power. I mean, anything that is permanent of a magical essence takes a lot. I know that.
Yeah.
So, if they've had years and years and years of siphoning off magical energy like that, this is probably the one location that was able to do it quickly.
Yeah, makes sense. Hopefully it's
I
not
don't know.
that much energy. Who knows? I have a feeling we're gonna find out.
I just, I'm not powerful. I will admit that. From a magical standpoint, I'm not powerful. My skills lie elsewhere. It didn't seem to take a lot of what we were doing to make that thing pop.
It's true.
But is that because it's easy to set off, or because it was so full it was about to break?
One or the other.
A little of both. Anyway, it's all speculative. What we know is that to follow up on any of this, we need our ship in full working order. We need the crew off of the boat in order to make that happen. And this is probably as good a place as any to have them lie low while we look to make sure that that bald-headed motherfucker is not going to teleport back here and kill us all.
That sounds good.
True.
I get to go break some... Let's say break some heads, but it's technically not heads, it's just a bunch of runes.
Right. And, yep. So let's first, no more splitting up. This seems to just be terrible whenever we split ourselves up. I get scared, y'all get scared, we almost kill each other in a stairway. Let's just go ahead and, go back together to let Jebediah know that we, are going to go ahead with the ship repair, let the crew know to get the supplies off of the ship and into the tavern, and go from there to the sanctum.
Alright, we got the plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Right.
Okay.
Brian, do you approve of the plan?
Yeah.
For the sake of it being, yeah,
Brian, stop
for the
listening.
sake,
He's sure.
for
Yeah.
for the sake of it starting to get kind of
Yes.
late, and I'm starting to get tired.
This is fair.
You guys go back. You fill in Jebediah on what your plan is. He says payment will be asked for once the ship is done. So, and he asked for everyone. He asked for all living creatures to be off of the boat.
I know this is
And-
really late, but my brain won't let me get past this. We did drop that elf off that we had in the wall, right?
What a
That is
statement!
You
such
mean-
a sentence.
What
you
a
mean-
statement!
Yeah.
Okay, you mean the dude that was chained up in the secret quarters
Yeah.
that you found the first time you were on this ship before it was yours?
Yeah, we did drop him off, right?
He's not
Well,
still
we-
in the ship walls, if that's what you're asking.
Yep. Okay, because
He's
I was
either
like,
broken free or been released by now.
I'm like, I'm
No.
pretty sure we dropped him off, and then my brain
No,
went,
you.
but are you sure?
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, you guys literally let him free as soon as you realized he wasn't going to attack you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like-
Everyone but our demon possessed person needs to get off the ship.
Oh,
Is
what is the
living.
smell? Did we get more cows? This is terrible. Oh
Worst
no,
part-
dead
No.
elf in the wall.
Worst part is he was a sea elf, so it would have been like dead fish as well.
Oh. Ah.
Oh,
That's self.
No.
Anyway, he
Little selfies.
yeah, Jebediah asks all living creatures to be off of the boat. At which point, he sets the bottle on the middle of the deck.
Edward can
and-
stay.
yeah. But yeah, he sets the bottle
Half
on the
him
deck
can
of the
stay.
ship,
Got it.
and after a couple minutes, the ship itself starts to have a faint glow to it, and then just the glow turns into a bit of swirling, like almost glowing dust, and goes into the bottle through the opening, and the bottle lands in the water with the cork back in place, and your ship is now as it was, just in a little bottle. And he kind of goes to right. It does.
You imagine if he dropped it?
Puts it in the middle of the water. That's
you just wouldn't want to be inside. If it comes back to like normal size when you break the
Just
bottle,
immediately.
but like
Oh, no.
and you just see Jebediah kind of look around, it's like, oh, I didn't bring the grabbing stick. I forgot the grabbing stick.
Oh, no.
All right. Is there a
You know,
Crapping stick.
it's fine. I'll take out my rapier that gives me a swim speed, and you know.
I'm just gonna.
what a cool
Okay.
weapon. I like that.
I appreciate this, but you have Mage Hand.
Also true.
Oh, that's true. I would have.
Like,
Some
Yeah.
answers are more fun than others. Though.
I mean, I
The
agree.
closest thing he gets to a bath.
Jumps into the water. Captain, what about your mage hand? Shit.
Clean.
All right. Regardless, Merrick, you go grab the
We're-
bottle for him, whichever method you may choose. And he's like, "Oh,
We'll go with Mage Hand. We'll
Yeah,
make
thank
that
you.
the
that makes this a lot easier. I should look into that." All right. Sure you don't need me to run you anywhere for supplies beforehand?
You know, actually, we could use to stock up on a few days to mitigate basically having to camp out in the town. You know, out of character, we can just hand wave like
Yeah, I'll
Merrick and Tyrion going to pick up 5 days of supplies, and
Yeah, that's
Back
easy
snack.
enough. And I'm pretty sure I
just
have
so that we keep like a 2-week stock.
there's
by
a
the time we're-
handout somewhere. Nope, that does not cover supply costs. That covers ammunition for your weapons.
All right.
Okay. Well, that's all right. Just call it. I mean, how are you getting the really good? You don't need like your full ship supply, so call it.
Like a silver to a person a day.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 15 gold for the crew as a whole.
Okay,
That's
per
roughly
day
right.
or just
Uh,
for the stay.
I mean, let's see, call it 2 silver a person. You have a crew of 8 at this point. There's yeah, just call it 15 gold and be good.
Okay.
Like, overall. I'm tired. I don't feel like doing math.
Aren't you upset with that?
Got it. 15
Stupid math
gold.
game.
And yeah, with that, or Jebediah starts walking back to his shop and says, he'll poke his head into town back when your ship is done. Don't get yourselves killed.
Yep, we'll be at the tavern for the most part.
Alright.
At least one of us will be at the tavern.
All right, I'll let you know when she's done. And he
Thank you very much.
goes into his door, and it shuts behind him. And
Godspeed to him.
with that, let's end there because I am suddenly very tired.
Stick got hit with the sleepy stick.
I got hit hard with the sleepy stick because
whole
I'm
tree.
like, yeah.
A
Anyway,
good session though. I'm
Yeah.
glad we kind of like. I think we have a thought about where Ryba's at.
was expecting.
Oh yeah.
I was expecting you guys to spend maybe a half hour in the town and be like, okay, this place is weird, let's go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Horse shit around in character. Us.
But yeah, that's
That
all we
was,
got for tonight, guys. I hope you all had a really good time. I'm Hobble Dragon, and Mr. Surprised in Blue in the top right is lovely Perfectus. He's the man of puns and normally creepy outros. Brian was played tonight by Ryba, who's actually Dr. Cube. He normally has Corgos, but the
I'm
Corgos
questioning.
actually left him alone.
Smile and nod.
Our lovely floof master is Leah.
What?
Cat.
Oliver-
She was like, goodbye.
But
Why do you
Oliver
always
Butt.
end on me?
curious.
Stop ending on me.
Who
I
did
don't
the
know.
video?
Lately, I've been leaving on you, and I don't know why. So we're gonna give you full screen because you brought it up.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
All right. You know what?
Blinding Yellow is our
Everybody
DM,
hide!
Stay
Everybody
Kid
hide!
11.
Yellow.
I hope you all had a good night and a good time. Make sure you hit follow before you leave, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Goodbye to the Yellow.
Bye.